Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains? There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
Hello, freaks! How's it going, everybody? Got some new documents out there. Judge Hippler put out there. Since people are starting to already mention them, I figured I'd go live earlier than normal. But if you're out there, I put out a video today, you guys, on the timeline part 2. A lot of you didn't see it because YouTube just sort of threw it in the trash bin of YouTube right out of the gate. Never even, I mean, it's got like a third of the views that a video would normally have. So if you guys haven't seen it, make sure to go out and watch that later. Yeah, hey, see you later, JBs. Have a good day. All right. Maybe try another day. All right, have a good time. All right, so we've got this other. That's more than that now. That's 260 now. That message that got put in there. Yeah, it was good. Nobody watched it though. It's weird. I mean, I could tell right out of the chute that YouTube was, didn't put it out there for anybody to see. You know, when you have 200 people watching a premiere, that means it's going to collapse. You have to have like 400 or 500 and then it might do well. All right, this is what I'm talking about. I was going to do Rex Heuermann tonight, but then, after checking and checking and checking the Idaho, judicial site, they put out the, so I'll just keep collecting. I mean, I'm going to go over in the Long Island serial killer case the 4 cases that aren't the Gilgo 4. There's these other ones. And those are interesting because those were, body parts were discovered years before Gilgo Beach. And when you guys are watching the show, if you want to help support the channel, that would be great. We've got PayPal, we've got Super Chats, we've got Super Thanks, we've got channel memberships, all the different things out there. So if you have the ability to, that would be great. If you don't, just hit that like button. Maybe try to share the videos, whatever. Subscribe. All right, here's one that I figured we'd go over right off out of the gate. All right, if it loads up. There we go. So this is apparently something he had to fill out himself. I mean, and answer specific questions. So let's go through this one. Hey, thanks, Allison Mox from, looks like the UK over there. So they'd read his Miranda rights, basically, then he signed that. The waiver of your right to remain silent applies to your plea of guilty to the crime in this case. Unless otherwise stated in your plea agreement, even after pleading guilty, you still have the right to refuse to answer any question or to provide any information that might tend to show you committed some other crimes, unless otherwise stated in your plea agreement. You can also refuse to answer or provide any information that might tend to increase the punishment for the crimes to which you are pleading guilty. And then he checked, I understand that by pleading guilty to my crimes, in this case, I still have the right to remain silent with respect to any other crimes. And I don't think that means, oh, he's got these other crimes, everybody. It just means that this is like a standard form. And with respect to answering questions or providing information that may increase my sentence. And then right here, it almost looks like they repeated the same thing. And then almost like I don't know if he made an error or what, but it says, it's exact same sentence up here. No answer, blank, BK. And then maybe he's fixing it. And now he's like unsigning it. You know? Or, yeah, I don't know what's happening there, because it's actually a repeat. This right here is a repeat of this right here. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you want an attorney and cannot pay for one, you can ask the judge for an attorney. You may be required to reimburse the county for the cost of the representation. And he signed that, put his initials. You are presumed to be innocent. You will be found guilty if you plead guilty in front of the judge, or 2, you're found guilty at a jury trial. I understand that by pleading guilty, I am waiving my right to be presumed innocent. You see that, all you Kohberger nut jobs out there? He's not presumed innocent anymore. He did it. You have the right to a speedy and public jury trial before 12 persons. Hey, thanks, Alley Cake. All right, maybe I'll move this down into the corner right
Thanks,
there.
Ray.
Thank you. You have the right for a speedy public trial before 12 persons. A jury trial is a court hearing to determine whether you are guilty or not guilty of the charges brought against you. In a jury trial, you have the right to present evidence in your defense and to testify in your own defense. You are not required to do so. However, the state must convince all of the jurors of your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Thanks, D. Chambers. And then right here it says, I understand that by pleading guilty, I'm waiving my right to a speedy and public jury trial. So he believes that the jury would absolutely find him guilty here. So, he's admitting that, and he initials there. You have the right to question or confront the witnesses testifying against you. This occurs during a jury trial. At trial, the state must prove its case by calling witnesses to testify under oath in front of you, the jury, and your attorney. Hey, thank you, Teresa. Staring blankly, Murray.
Seems like a trend when I walked in.
Hey, cool. Let's keep the trend going. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. If you do not have the funds to bring those witnesses to court, okay, right here, then it said, this occurs during a jury trial. Your attorney could then cross-examine each witness. You could also call witnesses of your choosing to testify on your behalf. If you do not have the funds to bring those witnesses to court, the state will pay the cost of bringing your witnesses to court and will compel their attendance by the use of the subpoena power of the court. I understand that by pleading guilty, I am waiving my right to question or confront the witnesses. Man, I thought you guys were going to put Dylan Mortensen up there. Boy, she had all kinds of stuff they could have got. Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk, boy, I tell you what. You guys are idiots. I'm just telling you guys, if you're a Kohberger or somebody out there that actually believes that Kohberger is innocent, you are literally a stupid person. Okay, and that's just true. I'm sorry if it offends you, and I'm sorry if that's not being, quote, open-minded in your mind, but you're an absolute moron. All right. Anyways, I understand that by pleading guilty, I am waiving my right to question or confront the witnesses against me, and present witnesses and evidence in my defense. And the police tailgating stops are an addiction of him evading. I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, right here, the state has the burden of providing you guilty beyond a reasonable. Let's see. So the state has the burden of proving you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I understand that by pleading guilty, I am waiving my right to require the state to prove my guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. See, he knows that it would be easy for them to do that. So here we go. Do you read and write English? Yes. And then, do you want an interpreter? No. What's the highest grade of school you completed? A master's. He was so happy to type that in. And look at his name, Brian. Yeah. He at least that looks exactly the same every single time. Are you currently under the care of a mental health professional? No. Well, you should have been. Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental health disorder? Yes, he says. Let's see. If so, what was the diagnosis and when was it made? Well, look when it was made, you guys. February of 2025. Autism. OCD, ADHD, and wow, all those things he got right before the trial. So he could have some mitigating factors. That's amazing. He never was diagnosed with any of those things. I think he might have some sort of kind of autism now. Are you currently prescribed any medication? Yes, he said. And it's levothyroxine. Let's see what that is. Hold on. Is a synthetic lab-made form of thyroid hormone thyroxine, or T4. This is one of the most commonly prescribed medications in the United States and is used primarily to treat hypothyroidism. I don't get it. He's got hypothyroidism? Yeah, I know. We just found it, Alice, and I'm sure you were able to look it up just as quickly. Let's see. Here we go. In the last 48 hours, have you taken any medication or drugs, including over-the-counter, or have you consumed any alcoholic beverages which you believe affect your ability to understand these questions or to make reasoned and informed decisions? No. Well, I mean, you probably took that other drug. And then right here it says, are you under the influence of any what how do you know if you have hypothyroidism? I mean, isn't that what like Captain Kirk has? Hey, thank you, apathetic kid. I believe that some mental disorders are real, but I also believe that you can get diagnosed with anything. I agree with that.
Some mental disorders are real, but I also believe that you can get diagnosed with anything you want to get diagnosed with.
Yeah, I agree. Don't you guys believe that OCD and ADHD are absolutely over-diagnosed, you guys? I mean, doesn't everybody just go, oh, I've got ADHD, you know, to try to explain why they're not paying attention? I mean, obviously some people actually have those things, but I feel like it's just absolutely over-diagnosed. I mean, especially kids in school where every one of them's got ADHD and then, sent home with a bottle of Ritalin to suck down. And it's just kind of like, wow, you guys. I mean, maybe those kids are smarter than the rest of them. I used to always think that, like, you know, you got these schools where you got all these kids that are really like, their minds are so fast now because they play video games, they got their cell phones out, they text really fast. And then you go to class and you got Mrs. Johnson over there that says, well, everybody, if you could pull your book out and turn to page 4, and Sally, would you start reading now? Yes, Mrs. Johnson, I would love to. Or actually,
yes, Mrs. Johnson, I would love to.
And then she starts reading it at a snail's pace. What kid isn't going to start going like this? Oh, Jesus, you know, and look around and look around. Hey, thanks, K-Me. Appreciate it. I mean, you got to admit, right, you guys? I mean, it's just like, it's ridiculous. Why don't they put those kids in a class that's quicker, right? Yeah, I think, you know, I think doesn't everybody have a form of autism, you know? Like, you're at a different level. Aren't we just all on the spectrum? I mean, I've been accused of being on the spectrum. Not that it's, you know, something bad, but it's weird. You got these people saying Gray's autistic, and then they trash the shit out of me. Aren't you guys being a little bit, you know, sort of unkind to somebody who is... I'm just kidding. I'm not. Okay. You know, it's just that's what well, a YouTuber claimed, and then everybody went into it. Yeah, why wouldn't you? Jeez. A lot of times, autistic people can, you know, especially the functioning ones that are just, you know, you wouldn't even notice. They're usually really good at a lot of different things that other people aren't good at, and then they totally function. Then you got the savant types that are kind of really just good at that one thing, like just a ridiculously, almost like supernatural level, right? Right, everyone's on the spectrum somewhere. Yep, there was, I don't know who won the spins last night. You'd have to go back and watch. I know a few people, a couple, but I don't remember everybody. All right, but hey, guys, if you're watching the show and you want to help support the channel tonight, that'd be great. I put out a video today. We have no new channel memberships tonight. We're currently at 1/12 of the nightly goal. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, that would be awesome. I just, you know, I tried my best to make a video today to help augment the show, but it got absolutely trashed right out of the gate by YouTube. Nobody got notifications, nobody got it sent to, nobody saw it, nobody did anything. And it's only got like 3,000 views, which is a third of yesterday's video that did poorly as well. So, you know, if you guys have the ability to, that'd be great. We got to keep on trucking through the months here. We gave $5,500 out last month, and we are at, currently, if you're new here, we are at $260,500 since January of 2020, and we're at $31,551 out of the income from the channel given to various true crime-related charities. All right, and we have a DNA fund, a scholarship fund, etc., etc., etc. I've pretty much explained all these things. Let's see. There's Lollipop. Thank you. And then we have Christopher Marshburn, who said hypothyroidism slows down the metabolism. Yeah, isn't that what Captain Kirk had something like that. William Shatner. Yeah, maybe he had that, I guess. Could have had a Christopher Marshburn was saying that hypothyroid, I can put it on the screen, slows down metabolism and often leads to weight gain by maybe why I had weight problem when younger. Seems like we all have metabolism slows down when you get older anyways, right? All right, let's see if we can get some channel memberships tonight, you guys. I mean, we're at 0. That's I've never even seen that this late in the show. All right, so he took that medication. If you answered yes, you have taken your prescription medication during the past 24 hours. In the last 48 hours, have you taken any medication or drugs? No. Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or other medication at this time? No. Are you capable of understanding these proceedings? Yes. Do you claim that you are mentally incapable of understanding these proceedings or what it means to plead guilty to a crime? No. Hey, thanks, Teresa. Staring blankly, Murray, gifted a membership to Olivia, too. Do you claim that you are mentally... Okay, the next one is there anything going on in your life that affects your ability to enter a voluntary guilty plea? And it said no. Are you having any difficulty in understanding what you are doing by filling out this form? No. Is there any other reason that you cannot make a reasoned and yet informed decision in this case? No. I think a lot of these things he wouldn't be able to answer because he thinks of himself so highly like that. Like, even if it was something he needs to put down, he would go, nope, because he doesn't want, he's, I mean, what's weird is the way he's answering this, is this guy is like a psychopath, absolute, knew exactly what he was doing, etc. Digital artist Lee said, I embraced my weirdness. Freak for 4 months. All right, there you go. Still need more memberships, man. 1. We're at 1. Is your guilty plea the result of a plea agreement? Yes. If so, what are the terms that plea agreement? If available, a written plea agreement must be attached. So let's see. Maybe there's an attachment. If a written plea agreement was done, have you read the plea agreement? Yes. Do you understand your plea agreement? Yes, I do. There are 2 types of plea agreements. Please initial the 1 paragraph below which describes the type of plea agreement. I understand that my plea agreement is a non-binding plea agreement. This means that the court is not bound by the agreement or any sentencing recommendations and may impose any sentence authorized by law up to the maximum sentence. The court is not bound by the agreement. It is the district court. If the district court chooses not to follow the agreement, I will not have the right to withdraw my guilty plea. I understand I do not have... I mean, that's crazy, right? So let's say something failed, he went to trial. This guilty plea would be... You could have this as part of the record. This isn't something that's, like gone. Hey, thank you, Apatheticate, for gifting. I will not have the right to withdraw my guilty plea. I understand I do not have the right to withdraw... I mean, it was sort of interesting right here. It says, the court is not bound by the agreement. If the district court chooses not to follow the agreement, I will not have the right to withdraw my guilty plea. Right? Like, oh, so you're not going to do... Okay, I'm going to take that away then. Right, so that's the one he signed up for. The other one that he could have checked was, I understand... Let me just read this last sentence. I understand I do not have the right to withdraw my guilty plea if the court chooses not to follow the agreement. And the other one is, I understand that my plea agreement is a binding plea agreement. This means that I will not be allowed to withdraw my plea of guilty and proceed to a jury trial. I'm not sure, like, that seems kind of... Let's see. I understand that my plea agreement is a binding plea agreement. This means I will not be... Well, you're still not allowed up here either, though. You're not allowed to withdraw the plea of guilty and proceed to a jury trial. But up here it said... Oh, I guess in this case he could... I will not have the right... But the judge could have denied it, and then it would have gone to jury, but the guilty plea would still be in there. Is that right? I think that's how it would be. So I guess the judge could have actually not allowed it. But I guess that's not the norm. All right. Has your attorney or anyone else forced or coerced you in any way to accept this plea agreement? No. Have any other promises been made to you that have influenced your decision to plead guilty? No. Has anyone told you that your nose and eyebrows are massive? I just want to see if anybody's listening. Has anyone told you what your sentence will be? You think he could have imposed death up there? I thought that was part of the... Oh, I see. Because he said their agreement was that the prosecutor said he couldn't impose the death penalty. I mean, that was part of the deal, that they wouldn't impose the death penalty. But the judge didn't have to, but they almost always do. What do you mean, Doomy? Your name fits almost perfectly. You just need to change one of the O's for an M. You know, dummy. Yeah, the court isn't bound, right? Yeah. That's what I said. Has anyone told you that you have a great birthing hips? Right. Doomy said, how do you not laugh at yourself, Gray? Oh, okay. I do laugh at myself. Well, that's kind of a really stupid way to word that, Doomy. You might want to work on that a little bit. But yeah, I laugh all the time at myself. I mean, I try to make other people laugh with my comments, and you have to do it deadpan or it doesn't work. All right? You know, so if you sit there and you're going, ah, ha, ha, he has great breathing hips, and it doesn't work. You have to literally say it with a straight face, or it doesn't come across correctly. You got to read it like I was still reading something, right? I was trying to read it with the same sort of monotone, crappy reading style that I have as I was reading it, so that you would think that it was in the document. See how that works? All right, awesome. So anyways, if you guys could please help support the channel, we're just really struggling along again tonight. So if you have the ability to, that would be awesome. If so, what have you been promised? 4 fixed life sentences, consecutive, and without the potential for parole, as well as 10 years, right, for the burglary. But you also missed the part about that you can't appeal it. Is this a conditional guilty plea in which you are reserving your right to appeal? Oh, here we go. That's the next one. Any specified adverse ruling? No. What rulings have you reserved the right to appeal? None. Come on, you pro-burgers. Yeah. Let's see. It is not conditional guilty plea. Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are waiving your right to appeal and ruling made by the judge prior to entering your guilty plea? If it is not conditional guilty plea, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are waiving your right to appeal any ruling made by the judge prior to entering your guilty plea? So that's every single ruling that the judge made during the entire case, right? He can't appeal that. Have you waived your right to appeal your sentence as part of your plea agreement? Have you waived your right to appeal your sentence? Yeah, so he even waived his right to all life sentences and 10 years. I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? Thanks, Michelle H. Under what condition? And then he just said yes, so there's nothing underneath that. Potential sentence. I am charged with the crimes of count. So he wrote these in here. Burglar. Man, what the hell? I guess that's... See, he has the dumbest looking R's in the history of the world. I mean, he literally... He draws a straight line to the right. It's basically a backwards Y. See, that's supposed to be burglary here, but see that little, that's like the, I mean, look at the Y, that's an R right here. That thing. How's that an R? It's ridiculous. I mean, I know what he's trying to do, but, so he said burglary and murder. He got 10 years and then fixed life. Over here he put, if you plead guilty to more than one crime, do you understand that your sentence to each crime could be ordered to be served either concurrently at the same time or consecutively, one after another? Do you understand that if you plead guilty and you commit, he said yes, and then, do you understand that if you plead guilty and you commit crimes in the future, This conviction could be considered in the future case and could cause more severe penalty in the future. Plead guilty and you commit crimes in the future. All right, yeah, because he can use that. So it's yes, but he's never going to be, well, he can commit crimes while he's in prison. He's never going to get out. Are you currently on probation or parole? No. If so, okay, there's nothing there. Are you aware that if you are not a citizen of the United States, the entry of a plea or making of factual admissions could have consequences of deportation or removal, inability to obtain legal status in the United States, or denial of an application for United States citizenship? How stupid is that? I mean, I know it's just a form, you know, but in this case, it's like, I mean, if you pled guilty to, you know, stealing a lawnmower, and you're, you know, legal alien or something, you wouldn't be able to, you know, probably wouldn't be able to apply, and you might be deported, etc. I don't think we would deport a Kohberger illegal alien. Right. Those handwriting experts are the same as the body language people. They are so amazing after the fact. I don't think that R represents anything. It's just his idiotic way of writing. I'm just telling you. I've been doing this for so long now, watching these body language experts that are just incredible after somebody's charged. Then they start seeing all these little things. And the handwriting people do the same thing, because now they can look at stuff and go, oh, yeah. I bet you if they had just sort of stumbled upon Brian Kohberger's handwritten notes before he was found guilty, that they ever would have came up with something like that. It's okay. No, I'm just saying what I think. I don't mind you telling me the stuff, but that's exactly what the reality is if they had stumbled upon a Brian Kohberger written note, they wouldn't have determined that he was a psychopath. They just would have went, wow, what a weird looking R. All right, guys, how do we get the numbers going tonight? We're just frozen. We are currently only have 3 channel memberships and only at 1/10 of the goal tonight. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, that's what we do on this channel. Is I do the shows, the people watching support the channel, then at the end of the month, if we do well, we're able to give thousands of dollars away to various true crime related charities. This month is first day was pretty good, second day not as good, and now we're on a third day and we seem to be going backwards. The video I put out earlier didn't get viewed, and on this show it seems like there's a lack of interest in supporting the channel, and that's really basically how the channel survives. All right, let's see. Are you currently on probation or parole? No, so we're down here. Does the crime to which you pled guilty require you to register as a sex offender? No. Are you aware that if you plead guilty, you may be required to pay restitution in this case? Yes. And those were documents a couple days ago. I just, I don't find that stuff interesting, like how much he owes or whatever. If so, have you and the state agreed upon the amount of this reimbursement? If you have, what is the amount? Okay. And it says, have you agreed to pay restitution as a condition of your plea agreement? Yes. Do you understand that you cannot withdraw your plea even if the restitution amount is determined to be higher than you thought it might be or should be? Yes. Is a license suspension required as a result of a guilty plea in this case? No. Do you understand that if you plead guilty, you will be required to submit a DNA sample and right thumbprint impression to the state? Yes. And my last plea on here absolutely fell on deaf ears. Not a soul responded. It's just... Are you pleading guilty to a crime for which the court could impose a civil penalty? for a crime of violence of up to $5,000 payable to the victim of the crime? Yes. Do you understand that if you plead guilty to a felony, you will lose your right to vote in Idaho during the period of your sentence? Do you understand that if you plead guilty to a felony, you will lose your right to hold public office? These are all yeses, yes, yes. Do you understand that if you plead guilty to a felony, you will lose your right to perform jury service? Wow, how devastating. Do you understand that if you plead guilty to a felony and or to a misdemeanor crime or domestic violence, you will lose your right to purchase, possess, or carry firearms? Thanks, Alley Cake. Appreciate it. Alley Cake's always the one that says, hey, I heard you. I know nobody else did, but thank you. She always does that. I appreciate it. Have you had sufficient time to discuss your case with your attorney? Yes. Have you had adequate time to fill out this form? Yes. Have you had adequate access to your attorney's assistant filling out this form? Assistance? Yes. Your attorney can obtain various items from the prosecutor relating to your case. This may include police report, witness statements, tape recordings, photographs, reports of scientific testing, etc. This is called discovery. Have you had the opportunity to review the discovery provided by your attorney? Yes. Do you want your attorney to take any further action in this case? No. If you are not a citizen of the United States, that's no NA, so let's see. Do you understand that no one, including your attorney, can force you to plead guilty? Yes. Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation? Yes. See, look at that, you guys. So, I mean, that takes away his, you know, well, at least at this point, his ineffective counsel, you know, but he could say, well, you know, I thought they did good, but then I found these things. Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you will waive or give up any defenses, both factual and legal, that you believe you may have in this case? Did you voluntarily enter mediation? No. If your guilty plea is a result of a plea agreement reached through mediation. So it's like no. Are the answers throughout this form your own answers? Yes. Are you entering your plea freely and voluntarily? Yes. Are you admitting to all elements of the crime to which you are pleading guilty? Yes. Are you admitting to all the elements? Okay. So I've said that he admits to doing the crime, and the Kohbergers come in here and they tell you, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He didn't admit to anything. Right there. Look at right here. Are you admitting to all the elements of the crimes to which you are pleading guilty? I mean, that's really it right there. Yes. All right. You see how it says yes right there? Isn't that crazy? Hey, thanks, Bill, for the Venmo. Appreciate it. Or are you pleading guilty because you are entering an Alford plea? No. So what do you think? Hey, listen, I know there's Kohbergers watching here. They watch every single night with salivating mouths, drooling from the side, just can't wait for the new trial to happen because Kohberger didn't do it. But what do you think of that right there? I mean, when you read that right there, are you admitting to all the elements of the crime? That means he is confessing. That's what that is right there. That is a confession. I mean, don't you guys agree? Hey, thanks, Janet Trent. Love the show. One. Hey, well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Are you pleading? Look at that is an admission, right? To say, are you admitting to all the elements of the crime? And he says yes. Right? Does anybody out there think that's not what that he is confessing when he says that? Because I think that's exactly what that is. He's confessing, you know. You might say, well, the meaning of confession is sort of a long-winded explanation of what you did or whatever. But I think of it as just admitting that you did it. You're telling people that you did it. Are you admitting to all the elements of the crimes to which you are pleading guilty? And he said yes. So there you go, all you nutjob Kohbergers. There you go. Wild Bill. Thank you. And thanks, Janet Trent. Anyone who is a pro Kohberger. Did you do it? Hey, yes. That's a confession. Right. But this is even worded better.
That's a confession.
This is like, are you admitting to all the elements? That means like every single element of the crime, he's admitting to doing all those things. But guess what, everybody? The Kohbergers will say he was forced into saying it. I mean, it's crazy. Or are you pleading guilty because you are entering an Alford plea? An Alford plea is one of those pleas where you plead guilty, but you're not admitting guilt. You're just admitting that the state has enough evidence to find you guilty. And I just find that bizarre to have that in existence as a plea of some. I mean, that's crazy. But I guess it's a way for the state and maybe even the defendant to get a lesser sentence, because you might accept an Alford plea. For example, if they say, if you say you're guilty with an Alford plea, we'll give you 10 years in prison. However, if we go to trial, you might get life without parole, blah, 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 blah. So somebody might think that that would be worth it. And then maybe in those 10 years, you can figure out a way to, if you really are innocent, figure out a way to get off. All right. All right. If you are entering, okay, and this says, have you had any trouble answering any of the questions in this form which you could not resolve by discussing the issues with your attorney? No. If you were provided with an interpreter, oh, there was no answer for that. Do you need any additional time before you enter your guilty plea? No. Do you understand that if the court accepts your guilty pleas, that you may not be able to withdraw your pleas, that you may not be, what do you mean may not be? Seems like that should be will. That you may not be able to withdraw your plea at a later date. If there is anything else you want to tell the court about why you are pleading guilty? No. You said yes to that one. Do you understand that if the court accepts your guilty pleas, that you may not be able to... I'd like to see that be will. I mean, why is that in there? May is sort of ambiguous, where... You know what I mean? How about that one, Christopher Marshburn? What is that? Why doesn't it say will? Oh, that's another thing, too? So an Alford plea could not be used in another case. Oh, I see. So that might be... Like, if you know that there's another case out there, they can't bring it up. That sounds... I don't know. A lot of weird shit that we have in our legal system. Like, that just doesn't even... Thanks, Angie. Look at that. A first super chat on a live stream. I'm honored. Thank you. But anyways, what about that part right there? It seems like that's ambiguous, where it says that you may not be able to withdraw your pleas at a later date. That sounds like you may not be, but you could. I mean, I don't like that. Thank you, Little Kaza T. Is there anything else you want to tell the court about why you are pleading guilty? No. Well, what if he'd said yes? There was no place to fill it out. Have you discussed the elements of the offenses for which you are charged with your attorney? Yes. I have answered the questions on page 1 through 7 of the guilty plea advisory form truthfully. I understand all the questions and answers herein. I had an opportunity to discuss each question and answer with my attorney, and I have completed this form freely and voluntarily with a complete understanding of the charges to which I am pleading guilty and with knowledge of the potential consequences of this plea. Furthermore, no one has forced me or threatened me to plead guilty. on June 29th, 2025. That's like way... Okay, this is how he prints his name. So Brian Kohberger, and then there it is right there. And then everybody else signed it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any... I mean, it's just crystal clear, right? I mean, it's just... This is one of those things where, you know, after you read it, you just go, yeah. I mean, what leg do the Proburgers have to stand on now? Thank you, Janet Trent, for gifting a membership. Very cool. All right. I think we're right around 33%, well, not even that, like 25% of the nightly goal now, so that's better than we were. Let's see. First ever donation on YouTube and live. Hey, well, very cool, Angie. That's very nice of you. I think if someone did a minute by minute, would he freaked out? I don't know what that means, Dion. I can't understand it. Oh, really? So there's a case out there that says he can theoretically... Well, it said that he could take back his guilty plea. So, okay, I get what you're saying. So if he does theoretically... Well, but he already signed that part away. So even if he gets... Theoretically could appeal... I don't think he can throw away his guilty plea as part of this case. It would still be in there, even if he got the... That's what it sounded like. Like, that was a really specific point. Right? So even if he was able to appeal for... Okay, like he throws an appeal out there. And let's say a judge says, yeah, man, your attorney did suck right here. I think that caused some problems. It seems like the guilty plea is still in effect because that can never be withdrawn or taken away. Remember how that was worded? I don't think it matters, Mike. I think it's right there. Unless the... Okay. He pleads that the... Okay, I guess if it's... The guilty plea is what he's appealing. Maybe. So Christopher Marshburn said, you are correct no matter what his confession to the crime stands. Okay, great. So even if there's a technicality that he gets a trial or something like that, that's going to be in there. That he pled guilty to... I mean, it's almost like he'd still have to plead guilty. I mean, what's the point? I mean, he got the worst possible agreement. Absolutely the worst. It's like... It's better than had he gone to trial, was found guilty, and went to the sentencing phase, and he was one of the people decided not to give him the death penalty. He'd still have appeal after appeal and blah, blah, blah. This one is the same as that, with because then the judge would have given him life without parole in the case, and so in this case it's worse than that would have been in that scenario, which is an actual... Not a unlikely scenario that with a jury out there, maybe somebody would have bought into one of his mitigating factors and not been able to give him the death penalty. So even if they withdraw the plea agreement, so the state can even withdraw it, right? And he goes to trial, they can still use his confession under oath against him. That's pretty nice. Yeah, so he's pretty screwed up. So basically the prosecutor made sure it was kind of an airtight thing that a confession that he's making is always going to survive any element that might happen. No way to... I don't know what that means. CAQ. I can't understand it. I never had the benefit of her on it. Don't know what that means. Anyways, let's see. And I'm not saying... I mean, I said above, I don't believe every... the amount of people that people were prescribing to being ADHD and Ritalin in school is ludicrous. Put a 1 if you agree with that. I mean, my God, they were like every other kid had it. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that that's a reality. I think it's just normal human behavior. And you start drugging these people up, it's crazy. Now, there's some people, sure, that, you know, there's something a little extra going on there, and I just think it's ridiculous. Hey, thanks, K-Me. I mean, I think everybody knows that instinctually. Like, you know, I bet you literally over 50% or more of the people that were in school deemed to be ADHD or, you know, whatever the hell the other ones, you know, things are that they were given Ritalin, just isn't the case, you know? And so these kids were just drugged up, turned into zombies because of... Thanks, KB, up there. We're at 5 memberships now. I'd like to get that up to like 20 something. That'd be pretty cool. I don't really have a way to set a goal for stuff like that. But anyways, there's that. There's nothing else. Yeah, post plea rights. Oh yeah, there's more down here. A pre-sentence investigation will be ordered by the court unless both you and the state waive that report and the court approves that waiver. If waived, you will not be eligible for probation. The court may order evaluations as part of this investigation, and these reports will be used to determine your sentence. Unless you have waived the right to remain silent as part of your plea agreement, you have the right to remain silent during the proceedings and interviews from now until sentencing, which includes the pre-sentence investigation and any court-ordered evaluations. The information in the pre-sentence interview and any evaluations, which will include any statements you make in these processes, will be used by the court in determining your sentence. In particular, if you are ordered to undergo a psychosexual evaluation, which can include polygraph examination, a domestic violence evaluation, a substance abuse evaluation. I mean, these are just, I'm sure it's the same writing in every single one of the... Have you discussed the right to remain silent with your attorney? Yes. Do you understand the nature of the right? Yes. Do you understand that you may waive this right? Yes. They shouldn't have allowed, I think they should have forced him to give at least a version as part of the plea agreement. It doesn't necessarily, I mean, I would give him the same deal, but he has to give a version of events. Whether you want to believe him or not, I think that should have been part of it, just so that there's something out there. And then you would have to say that it has to meet the factual elements of the case, whatever you tell us. And if it doesn't, then we're not accepting it, because we want to make sure that we're accepting an agreement from the right person. That's how you'd have to frame it, like that. All right. Do you understand that you may waive this right? Yeah, yes. Have you waived any of the right in your plea agreement? Yes. Do you have any questions concerning either this right or the waiver of these rights? No. Have you discussed with your attorney your rights regarding your attorney's attendance and presence during the pre-sentence investigation or these various evaluations? Do you want the court to order any particular evaluations to assist the court in determining your sentence in this case? No. I mean, the one before was, have you discussed with... Yeah, yes, on that one. Do you have any questions concerning either this right or the waiver? No. So, there you go. Yeah, it's kind of interesting on the website here. There's these really old things from way back here, June, you know. But I think these are all just other sort of motions for, a lot of these are. The guilty plea advisory was something that was its own document, but let's see if there are any of these things are. Let's read this one, I guess. In light of the reason set forth in the motion to amend witness list and supplement expert disclosures filed on June 12, 2025, the state may call Christian Westering, PhD, as an expert witness in forensic biology, including DNA analysis, to testify about findings related to DNA found with fingernail clippings from Madison Mogen. Dr. Westering's anticipated testimony is detailed in his affidavit attached hereto as Exhibit S1A, and his testimony will also cover the curricula, the CV.
Privileges are dense.
They are dense, but yeah. Be nice to try to get moving on the goal. We're just really struggling along tonight. I guess we could be doing worse. I could be jumping off of a cliff and forgot my parachute. I guess that would be. These are the documents that. Yeah, there's going to be a whole bunch of documents. Tons of them. So we got that one. Okay, so this might be it in here. I mean, this might be interesting. What was the name of that? So they called it, hey, thanks, I'm a gal, yo. They said in S1A, and I think I just saw that. So let's see. Oh, no, no, it was S1. No, there it is right there. Wow, so this might actually, ooh, shit, this is 25 pages long. This one might actually talk about what he was going to say regarding Madison Mogen's fingernail clippings. That's pretty interesting. Hey, thanks so much. I'm a gal, yo. Now, let me get, is this just his CV here? Let me just see what it says down here. I mean, so it doesn't say. Let me go over. What was that one? Let me read what this said again. Expert witness in forensic biology DNA to testify about findings. DNA found with finger clippings. Dr. Westering's anticipated testimony is detailed in his affidavit attached hereto as Exhibit S1A, and his testimony will also cover. Oh, wow. So that's what this is here. We just have to scroll down until we get to the that portion. Fundamental of human DNA profiles. We probably don't want to listen to that. I just want to see what he would say. So we're only on page 7 of 25 right here. What's the minimum? Oh, I don't know what a minimum is. We just try to, the goal, like I try to bring in, if it could do like 250 is the lowest end, and that doesn't make it so we can donate at the end of the month. So we try to do way better than that. So right now we're only at 130, or let's see, 25, 116 or something. Yeah, we're, it's not very good. At this point, we're at 116. They live in their own world of make-believe. Yeah. All right, I'm just going to move it down until we get. This still looks like his CV stuff here. The space intentionally left blank. I mean, this is probably like, Doctor. Maybe we need to get Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick on for this. I'm not sure what that means. Ida B. Dummy. What a stupid name, Jesus. Let's see. YouTube, Dr. Ivana is in the chat. Okay. Who the hell are you talking about? What's going on again? We're getting this again tonight. You got, hey, moderators, get on top of this weird shit going on, all right? Let's just start deleting people, you know, removing. I don't want to have to deal with it myself, all right? Yeah, that's not a big deal, Katie. It's just what it is. People had locks for their own rooms, so they didn't really care that much. All right, let me just scroll down here. Laboratory shall establish, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let me just type in the word Madison. Okay, so that's all the way down to page 21 here. In order to conduct an independent analysis of the results obtained by the ISP lab for item 13.1, color-specific analytical thresholds were determined based on the data provided by ISP lab and reported in figure 4. Man, imagine that trial having to be a jury listening to this stuff. Analytical threshold. Let's just go down here. My findings here are based upon my analysis of interpretation of the ISP laboratory DNA test results employing the Promega PowerPlex fusion system, employing the Osiris analysis software for item 13.1 sample from the body of Madison Mogan, item 11 reference sample from Madison Mogan, item 14 reference sample from Kaylee Gonzalez, and item 108 reference sample from Brian Kohberger are described below. Additional items were tested by the ISP lab but not reviewed or discussed herein. So right here, this says the interpretation of the ISP lab DNA results for item 13.1 employing the validated color-specific threshold resulted in the detection of full DNA profile consistent with a mixture of at least 4 contributors. Well, how did it get a full DNA profile if it's a mixture? At least one of whom is male. The following comparisons were made. Madison Mogan cannot be excluded as a potential contributor. Kaylee Gonzalez cannot be excluded as a potential contributor. Brian Kohberger was excluded as a potential contributor to the mixed DNA profile. So that means he's not, I mean, I'm not sure what point, whatever the male, so whatever the male was in there, it wasn't his. In whatever they measured, but that doesn't mean a damn thing. See that Kohbergers they turn stuff like this in to a big deal. We actually already knew this information. We've gone over this before. But hey guys, we're on one of those lulls again, so if you're out there, it'd be great if you could support the channel. That would be awesome. Huh? What are these weird comments in here? These are the same. See, the thing is, I know where these people are coming from, and they're just saying the same stuff over and over again. And what they really try to do is derail the show so that you guys won't support the channel, and it seems to work on your minds. Don't allow the trolls stop you from helping my channel, okay? In fact, it would be great if you would support the channel and shut these trolls the hell up that are in the chat. There's been like 100 comments deleted already. So wouldn't that be awesome? What does that mean, Janet? Dylan said nothing happens in Idaho. Yeah, she didn't. Nobody locked their doors. Remember that? Based on the initial qualitative assessment of the DNA profiles obtained from item 13.1, the known reference DNA profiles from Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez were used to estimate the relative mixture proportions observed. This analysis was conducted based on the relative peak values, RFU, across multiple loci in the mixed DNA profiles. The following mixture proportions were calculated. So in that was Madison Mogan was 83%, Kaylee Gonzalez was 12%, and an unknown contributors, unknown male DNA, and then the result was consistent with the information gained from DNA quantitation, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so, I mean, we don't even know what that was, and even if that isn't Kohberger's DNA, she was out and about all night long doing different things. Let's see. It would have been a big deal if, I mean, like if it literally was 83% likely his DNA, that would mean something, but that wasn't even one of the main contributors. It was less than 5% here. All right. It was weird. Right after people asked what the goals were and everything, it just died down. What happened? Based on the quantity of DNA amplified for item 13.1, it was 1.5 nanograms. That's a tiny amount, but total human DNA, of which approximately 20 picograms, that's absolutely tiny, is the male DNA. This quantity of DNA is consistent with 3 to 4 diploid male cells. The number of minor male contributors cannot be determined based on the lack of results. Yeah, I mean, we already knew this. This was already in a document that, it didn't really determine anything. Jeez, come on, you got to get on top of these guys. You guys ever seen any more trolls than tonight? I mean, it's just like one after another. I bet you a lot of the people watching are trolls. You know, we should do a poll. What do you mean it's different? I don't know what that means. But hey guys, I need your guys' support tonight. I don't want to have to keep saying it over and over and over again. We're having one of those nights again where I gotta keep repeating it because it seems like people don't hear what I'm saying. You guys are the people that keep the show going and allow us to make a difference at the end of the month. We've given 18,000 out in scholarships so far. We've given out over 100,000 for a DNA fund. We've given over 30,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Over 30,000 to RAIN, which is Violence Against Women. Over 30,000 to Texas Equisearch. We've given 3,500 to the scholarship funds of Ethan Chapin. And I always forget the something with kindness, the other charity. So we've done all that, and the only way we were able to do that is at the end of the month if there is extra, and that's what we try to do on a nightly basis to be able to get to that point. So can we have it be one of those nights where what I'm saying doesn't fall on deaf ears? That would be absolutely great. Thank you. Now you, one hot mess, and you'll never be commenting again. Make sure to block the trolls tonight, okay, so that they can't come back again. Every one of them. All right? So there you go. I'm just going to go to the next, see what else we can find in these documents. That's like too mentally, like this is just really deep to go into all that stuff. And what's this one? Opposition to motion to vacate non-dissemination order. And when was this one? Was Oh yeah, but these are all documents that were hidden. So what would be the... This is on July 15th. I guess we need to read it to see what's in it. Because they might say stuff that they didn't want us to hear. Who cares, Glock, Scotch? And I mean, who are you? I've never even seen you in my life. But yeah, I mean, even right there, when I make my plea on the channel for support, nobody did. So this might be one of those nights where we just kind of gotta go start working on a video. If I put out a video on the same stuff, it would have done better, I think. Comes now Brian Kohberger by and through his attorney of record and hereby requests the court for an order to maintain the revised amended non-dissemination order. And this is a document that was hidden at one point. Yeah, you keep typing in the same thing. Can you guys get of the good work weirdos too? I don't even know who these people are. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Never seen you on here in my life. You've never typed a word in here before. Glocks. Hey, thanks, Patty Jensen. Hey, Gray, you got comments? Okay. See you later, Michael. Have a nice time. This is crazy. No, you meant to type the same thing that somebody else typed in. All right. Yeah, see, I told you. I knew it. I knew it. That was somebody. I hid them and I gave them another chance and they came back and we got to see exactly what those people are. We only got 5 new gifted channel memberships, you guys. Real slow on that too. Now, the revised order recognized that Mr. Kohberger's right extended beyond the question of guilt or innocence to his right to a fair sentencing. The motion filed by the media to vacate the revised order asserts that once a guilty plea is entered, that his right to a fair trial under the Sixth Amendment is extinguished. Motion to vacate, page 4. What the media fails to recognize is that Mr. Kohberger retains his right to a fair sentencing proceeding guaranteed under the 14th Amendment, and his right to effective assistance of counsel under the 6th Amendment. In this case, substantial dangers of prejudice to Mr. Kohberger exist up to and through sentencing. I think I remember this argument. They kind of made these same arguments in court. As this court is well aware, there have been numerous leaks of confidential information to the press, and the avalanche of publicity continues with the release of the Peacock documentary. Let's see. Hey, welcome, Thomas Dabrowski. Megazoid. Hey, very cool. Thank you. The Amazon Prime series on July 11th, 2025, and the book by James Patterson on July 14th, 2025. These are things that are causing, they were saying we're going to cause problems. Lifting the revised order now. This close to the sentencing would only increase the media's frenzy and publicity around the case. The ongoing publicity in the case threatens Mr. Kohberger's safety, as set forth above in Section 1. The amount of publicity coming before sentencing, even with the revised order in place, is massive. Further release would only serve to gin up the anger and violent rhetoric already at a fever pitch. You know what, though? What's weird about Kohberger is, isn't he one of the people out there that really just kind of deserves to have whatever said to him? Even Judge Hippler agreed with that. Again, this court is well aware of the threats posed to Mr. Kohberger, but not only to him, but his family and court staff. So I think anybody like threatening Kohberger's family are idiots. It's just like, I think they knew that their kid was like, something off with him, and then once the murders happened, they may have been suspicious. There was an article that came out today that I was reading, and it was Kohberger texted. He was in a long conversations with his mother. During the conversations with his mother on November 17th, she texted him an article on the murders. So what were they talking about in that phone call? Is it possible she was like, hey, Brian, do you have anything to do with this? They didn't know about the white Elantra at that point. So I don't know, how they would have been able to connect the dots. But they may have remembered, hey, remember that morning he called us at 6 in the morning? That was the 13th. That's weird. Why would he call so early? And he'd just say, well, because it's 3 hours behind. Hey, thanks, Sony, for the coffee. All right. Very kind, very kind. Did you guys see that article? I think it was, let me see if I can find that. Okay, that's... People are now copying. I mean, Ashley Banfield, she's like doing... Daily Mail's the one that came up with it. I guess it's not them. Let's see, who did this come from? Bombshell, cell phone data revealed. Brian Kohberger discusses the University of Idaho murder with his mom days after his killing spree. Heather Barnhart, Senior Director of Forensic Research at Celebrite, and Jared Barnhart, Head of CX Strategy and Advocacy at Celebrite, told News Nation, I guess it was Banfield, so she can say however she wants. Kohberger's mother, Marianne Kohberger, sent her son a news article about the case in a text message on November 17th. I thought this was... I read this earlier. I didn't think they were attributing to anybody. The article detailed the graphic injuries suffered by 20-year-old victim Xana Kernodle, basically describing how Xana had bruises on her body and how she had put up such a fight. So that's what she sent her kid. When the text was sent, the mother and son were on the phone to each other, suggesting they may have been discussing the murders on the call. Looking at the timeline a little bit, you can tell that they actually speaking on the phone. What that tells us, and we can assume, is that they were talking about the Idaho murders. I mean, I think it's obvious, right? Like if you're talking to somebody and they send you, there's a text message sent during that phone call. It's not like you're talking about the MB, like, hey, man, you just seen the Portland Trailblazers last night. That was incredible. Clyde Drexler scored 20. And then the person you talk to sends you an article on Brian Kohberger's murders. That never happens, right? So, I mean, I think it's just obvious that they were talking about it, and she sent that in. Maybe she thought, oh, her kid is an expert on this stuff. I'll ask him something about it. I'll tell you what I'd love to hear is what in the hell he was telling his mother about it. I mean, that is crazy. Hey, thanks, Linda Sherry. And it looks like Sonia sent me a coffee at our Venmo, too. Well, thank you. That was nice. And then Lisa Valenzuela sent a coffee in. I bet Brian brought it up to her, so she sent it to him. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I wouldn't doubt if she brought it up. You know? Because they might have been thinking, remember that morning, he called at like 6 in the morning. He acted kind of weird, That was the 13th. They might have remembered that because it was only 4 days before. Anyways, got that wrong. I thought that was an article that Daily Mail put out, but I guess it was News Nation again. They get all the... Yeah, that's one of the things that's really frustrating. It's like News Nation, all these, Court TV and, Law and Crime. Like, they're pretty big sort of networks that have a presence on YouTube. And then all of their anchors are now YouTubers. So they get all of the art, the inside information. It's hard for people like us. Now, today I did get a hold of, I will be getting all of the surveillance footage that exists. It might take a few weeks or something, but I'm on the list. I've paid for it already. And so whenever they get it all, I'll be getting that stuff. All right? That's what I'm really interested in. Because I think once you have all of it together, you put it together, it's just like, oh man, this is obvious. All right, you guys. We'll try to do it out there again. If you're out there and you have the ability to help support the Grant Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, we're currently only at about 50% of the goal, not even that. That would be great. Thank you. Let's see. Casey Anthony, jailhouse phone calls have loads of insights. Right. Yeah, those are pretty interesting. It would be cool to hear his jailhouse, Kohberger's jailhouse calls, wouldn't it? I wonder if those will be available. The ongoing publicity in the case, okay. Further release would only serve to gin up anger. The court has issued a records hold order and special inquiry is ongoing. After the release of the May 9th, 2025 Dateline special on this case, the court issued hold orders to both parties, lifting the revised order at this moment, given the ongoing investigation into the leaks to Dateline, Peacock, and potentially to James Patterson and the Amazon Prime documentary would only confound the efforts in the investigation into who actually violated the dissemination order and makes the investigation job close to impossible. In its response to the media motion, the state now withdraws its request for the non-dissemination order to be continued until sentencing. The state cites further reflection and continues that out of respect for the integrity of the judicial process and the privacy of the victims and their families and they consider their rights to provide victim impact statements in sentencing, the prosecution team does not intend to make any public statements about this case until after sentencing has concluded. This is before the plea deal and everything. The state's promise, well, maybe it was. What date was this? I thought it was June No, this is July 15th, so this is after that. The other thing that we were reading was before. Conclusion. Mr. Kohberger's request, the court deny the media request to vacate the revised order ahead of sentencing in order to maintain the integrity of the process and the security and safety of all the parties involved, including the families, court staff, and attorney. The revised order should remain in effect. The revised order is reasonable in scope and does not impinge on the media ability to investigate and report on this case, and maintaining the revised order will minimize the media frenzy. So there's that. Order maintaining. So these are all from today. These 4 at the top here. What's this one here? SB1. Oh, that's his CV there. And if I type it in, you guys will support the channel. Let's see what this one is. These are from today. The court finds that the sealed status of the following records identified in court's August 4th, 2025 order regarding sealed documents shall remain in effect. 9, 18, 25, 26, 27, 30, 31, 35, and 40. Item 9 remains sealed as it is replete with identifying information of the proffered alternate perpetrators. Good. Now, the Kohbergers want that out, though. The unsealing of which would contravene the privacy concerns of these individuals and likely subject them to unwarranted harassment and reputational harm. Thus, continued sealing is warranted. The remaining identified records all relate to an ongoing and statutory confidential investigation into potential leaks in the case and are exempt. Okay, so all those other ones are for finding the leak. Hey, thanks, Kathy Jones. So I think there's going to start being, like tomorrow, there's probably going to be files that come out. The following documents identified in the court August 4, 2025 order regarding sealed documents objected to at least in part by one or both parties are to be unsealed, though several with redactions. Items 2, 4, 7, 10, 12, 9. I don't even know. Well, I guess it's going to explain what they are. 12, 19, 20, 33, 34, 38, 39, 42, and 43. The basis of unsealing, redacting, are as follows. So this is what they're going to be called in the, in here. See how there's there's the date and then there's the name of it. I'm pretty sure that that's what this is. Orders modifying, amending, there is no further justification to warrant the continued sealing of these orders. However, the court orders that the dates of birth of the defendant and the protected person be redacted. The name of the individuals identified within, this is the supplemental request, or S1, to state's response to defendant's 24th supplemental request. The name of the individuals identified within the document has already been widely disseminated by the media. Thus, there is no justification to warrant the continued shielding of her name. Maybe it's like Dylan Horton said. However, the court orders that the individual's date of birth be redacted. In addition, the state's assigned AV and Bates numbers identifying the location of the discovery is not protected work product as contemplated by ICR and therefore will not be redacted. Then there's a 627 notice of filing defendant's additional objection to The juror questionnaire. There is nothing in the record that justifies continued sealing under ICAR. Completed juror questionnaires are confidential to protect juror privacy, but that is not implicated in the record. Consequently, it shall be unsealed. Exhibit W to defendant's 24th supplemental request for discovery. Yeah. Look at these wackos in here, you guys. Yeah. So you got Mega Master in here. Some idiot said, if you charge back your donation, it costs get yous money, so I recommend everyone do that. I mean, you guys are sick people, you know. I mean, this is what I'm saying. This is YouTube already has a formal complaint against these types. We know exactly who a lot of them are and where they come from. And so we'll see what YouTube does. But in the meantime, you guys, I'd like your guys' support on the channel tonight. I'm not sure, again, why tonight is so difficult. If you guys like the work that I do here, my channel relies on the tips and generosity of people that are actually watching the show. You know, it's like being a waiter at a restaurant. That's how the show is, you know. Other than that, there basically is no ad revenue on these things. Whether that means anything to you, I don't know. But anyways, the name of the individual identified within this document has already been widely disseminated by the media. That's probably Dylan Mortensen. This one, the court, or maybe that's a different one. I guess we'll see. So these are, it's going to all be like these on the 25th, the 18th, etc. Then right, it says, court minutes for closed session regarding motion concerning alternate perpetrators. Although there is no longer, okay, that's an error. Although there is no longer a justification to warrant the continued sealing of the entire document, there were discussions recorded within the minutes that required protection. First, the minutes 1:31:52 p.m. referred to identifying information of the proffered alternate perpetrators, the revealing of which would contravene the privacy concerns. Maybe somebody has to throw me in jail tonight. Maybe that'll help. I'm sure I was mean to somebody. Jesus, these people. Yeah. Although there is no okay, I don't know. First the minutes, and then it says identifying information of the proffered alternate perpetrators, the revealing of which would contravene the privacy concerns of these individuals and likely subject them to undue harassment. See, I'm all for blocking any of the third-party bullcrap that was put out there. They should have done that in the Delphi case, too. Let's see. Hey, thanks, Forgetful Mandy. Yeah, so we're currently about 50%, so if we get we need another, like, I don't even know what to say, 25 channel memberships, and we'd be... Thanks, Forgetful Mandy and Rachel B. And welcome to David and Sonia Garrison, DNS Roofing. For all your roofing needs, everybody, call DNS Roofing. Where? I don't know. Hey, David, put out where your roofing company is. We'll just say it. Here, let me do, where is that thing? Hold on a second. Where is that? Isn't it right here? It was... Hey, thanks, Ashley Violet. Man, have you seen any of these crazy, as many trolls as tonight, man? Unreal. it? That one? No. I don't know where it was. Anyways, I was going to read off David and Sonia Garrison Roofing. Ashley Violet gifted a membership. Man, it's like whack-a-mole tonight, you guys. It's like whack-a-mole. Whack an idiot. Ah. I'm not sure what that means, Eleanor. Nobody knows what that means. You're almost following in the other Eleanor's footsteps. The trolls just make themselves look lame. They literally have nothing better to do. People that come to the chat just to try to piss... I know they do it every show. And what they do is they do it so they can provide content for... There's one YouTube channel out there that spends their entire time... You know, the name of their channel is... It says that there's multiple people. It refers to plural. And I'm the only person that they make videos out. And my face is on... and name are on all the videos and in every title that they have. And they go around and they just try to trash my channel. And they're trying to, you know, sell a narrative. And they put false information in there. Completely bogus stuff. And it just isn't going to be tolerated. So it's all being documented. Work in the back channels. Work in the back channels. Let's see. We've always got... what do we got here? Did they have any videos of his minute-long interrogation? Right, you know, you would think that that would be video, wouldn't you? Yeah, the best thing to do for the trolls, though, you guys, is to support the channel so that it sort of reverses what they think that they're doing. Instead, it got worse in here. So you're actually rewarding the trolls, you guys. Remember how you guys used to be like, you know, combat the trolls? Now it's like, yeah, you know, we're being blitzed. Yeah, it's crazy in here. Sure, I'm the only one who is interested in seeing his arrest. Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. I mean, I've ordered stuff that I'm interested in. You know, like the FBI. I actually asked for what you guys are looking for. And, you know, the Pennsylvania State Police is not going to release anything in the case, they say. I'm sure they'll give it to Dateline or something like that, but... Yeah, well, it's true, Annie. Either that or you're really unobservant as a person. So you might want to look into that. Maybe you shouldn't be in the true crime world. How do you go through the order process? It's just, you know, you have to get a hold of the clerks and go to the websites, fill stuff out, you know. It's kind of a long, you know, I've already paid, I think I'm at $120 so far. If you're the first person to order something, then you have to pay thousands of dollars. But if you're the second one, it's like $30 for some of them. I mean, it's like way cheaper, you know. Right. So I need your guys', I'm not going to say it again. I'm tired. I need the support, but you guys are, tonight's just not one of the nights where people are going to do it. So anyways, defendant replied to state objection to defendant's offer of proof. This one is, there's no further justification to warrant the continued sealing of filing. However, in the interest of privacy and to guard against likely harassment, the court orders that the names of the proffered alternative perpetrators are other identification. This one's motion to amend witness list. and supplement expert disclosure. Thanks, Ashley Violet. There is no other justification under whatever this is, to warrant the continued sealing of this filing. The name of the retained expert witness identified in this filing was previously revealed publicly in this case, and the unsealing of the document with the expert name is unlikely to result in undue harassment. Consequently, it shall be unsealed. This one is order granting defense expert analysis of evidence. Although there is no longer a justification to warrant the continued sealing of the entire order, the court orders the identifying information, name and address of the expert identified herein be redacted. Yeah. I think any expert on Kohberger's side that was going to testify, I think they should just redact the hell out of those things. You know? Because the Kohberger nut jobs would be getting a hold of him going, hey, what were you going to say? What, just bugging the hell out of him. The court has heard from, and I would say, like some witnesses on the prosecution side. I'm more looking for the documents that have information in them. There's no longer justification to warrant continued sealing of filing. This is for the defendant's motion for independent analysis of evidence. The sole objection was the revealing of the expert's name and address, but this information is not included in the filing. So these are just filings, and let's see, defendant's offer of proof regarding alternate perpetrators and defendant's evidence in support of offer of proof alternate perpetrators. There is no further justification under ICAR 32 to warrant the continued sealing of this filing. However, it is in the interest of privacy and to guard against potential harassment. The court orders that the names and other information that could be used to identify proffered alternative perpetrators be redacted. The unsealing of this filing, however, does not extend to the appended table of contents listing the state's exhibits to the filing, or does it apply to the exhibits themselves, both of which shall remain sealed? Well, okay. Yeah, I guess some of those exhibits you probably don't really want out there. Hey, thanks, Kimberly Hunt. State's response to defendant's 23rd supplemental request for discovery. There's no further justification to warrant the continued sealing of this filing. Thus, the filing shall be unsealed without redactions. Further, the release of the names of law enforcement officers and expert disclosed as testifying witnesses in this case do not implicate privacy concerns sufficient to warrant redaction. Thus, the filing shall be unsealed without redactions. And then Exhibit V to defendant's 23rd supplemental request. This item will be unsealed, consistent with the court ruling related to item 42. All right, well, those are going to be, I think there's a whole bunch more, though, right? They're going to be unsealed. How do you know how he's doing it, Lisa? Does he say that somewhere? Or maybe I got to go through the rest of these up here. Based on the party's lack of objection and the fact that none of the... Okay, we did that. How about this top one here? Thanks, neighbors. As in John Neighbors. Are you related? Thanks, Lizzie Robb. All right. So I think if we got like 11 more channel members then I could actually donate the 5, because that would be, we're at the minimum goal. Yeah, I don't remember reading that. As the court noted in prior order regarding sealed documents entered on August 4th, 2025, as part of the process to review sealed records to determine which would be unsealed, the court will process the review of these documents. Maybe this will talk about that. Those documents from the newest... Oh, there it is right here. It's right. It's in today's document. The next batch of documents concerning which the court will require the parties to indicate whether they have an objection to unsealing any specific documents or portion thereof are identified below. Using consecutive numbering from the court's first order, the response must identify each document by date, name, and number of each document identified in this order. The parties must file their response, including, if appropriate, a notice of non-objection by September 19th. Oh, thank you, Trish, for the, I don't know if that's Venmo or whatever that is. Can't tell. Yeah, we need, I think we need, yeah, 10 would do it. That'd be close. I mean, it wouldn't really, 11 channel memberships would get us right to the place where I could donate 5 memberships myself. So if you're out there, and there's people out there that can do the 11 combined together, that would be sweet. All right, the second set of documents the court requires the parties' input as outlined above include the following documents. Parties' proposed stipulated jury instructions. State's proposed supplemental jury instruction. Defendant's amended Phase 2 mitigation witness list. Exhibit S2 to State's supplemental rebuttal disclosure regarding penalty phase experts. Exhibit S1 to State's supplemental rebuttal disclosure regarding penalty phase experts. State's supplemental rebuttal disclosure regarding penalty expert. Thanks, Michelle H. Defendant's evidence in support of offer of proof of alternate purpose. I think these are ones they just talked about, some of these. Objection to the court's request for the defense to submit a redacted copy of ex parte filing to the state. Exhibit F to Defendant's 6th supplemental response to discovery. Defendant's 6th supplemental response to discovery. I wonder what that exhibit is. Defendant's 6th. So some of these might be interesting here. You know, these responses, those have been all the really good ones, have been these responses to... Oh, okay, cool. Well, hey, thanks, David, for showing up. Give your supplies. I think you meant support, but hey, very cool. Don't forget to get a hold of D&S Roofing, wherever the hell that is. Thanks, Michelle H. Objection to the court. Okay, so a lot of these, like these supplemental responses and things, they have all the really, like, interesting information in them. Because, like, somebody said, you know, they ask, you know, they put a bunch of stuff out, and the other side comes back with their response, and, you know, a lot of that stuff's got all the interesting information. Court minutes, closed session. That might be interesting. 2 of those. And defendant's offer of proof regarding alternate perpetrators. Second, notice of filing of defendant's proposed jury instructions. Notice of state's amended exhibit list and motion to seal. Exhibit S1, state's motion to reclaim exhibits. Parties joint proposed jury instruction regarding tip leading to investigation of the joint proposed jury instructions regarding the tip leading to investigation to the defendant. Huh. Interesting. Which is the DNA from the FBI. That's the tip. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Sleuthy Ruthie. Been taking screenshots of his living room and bedroom to match it up to the video audio of the person that seemed to know so much about the murders. What does that even mean, man? What does that even mean? Nobody knows what you're talking about. You're not related to... Okay. Yeah. Well, great start on those 11 memberships, guys. Come on, you can do it. Defendant Phase 2 Mitigation Witness List. Court minutes. Reply to support of state's motion for examination defendant pursuant to IC 18207N for an extension of time. Defendant's objection to state's motion for examination of defendant pursuant to Idaho Code. State's motion for examination of defendant. Oh, they want to, do their own mental workup on that guy, psychological. Oh yeah, I think you just hit the little button down there, little $, I guess. Thanks, Luciano. Breginski, keep up the good work. Hey, thank you. Oh, look at there's CR coming through with the. And by the way, you guys, if you got the mugs out there, you got to send in a picture of you imitating me saying, "I'm never watching again," because she sent one in, and so did Lisa Valenzuela. But the rest of you slackers haven't sent them in. Gray, you're so mean to your subs. Come on, man. This is the real world. I'm not. I love all of you guys, man. We're just in here. I'm doing a show. Some nights I get disappointed because you'd think we'd easily be able to make a goal, and then I'm disappointed on that days where I put a video out and the video gets absolutely crushed. I mean, like today was horrendous. It's like, I mean, it might be at 3,500 views at this point. It was already dying right out of the chute. And why waste your time making videos when nobody watches the damn thing? So I don't know what the hell happened there. Oh, but look at that. CR threw me in prison. Oh, boy. Here we go, everybody. What happens now? Is this one of those nights where I stay in here? Will I get bailed out? Will I get a cab ride to the hotel? Will I have a hotel room? We don't know at this point. But the way things are going tonight, wow, we might not ever get out. But whenever I'm called so mean, that's being thrown in jail, you see. Gray, you're so mean. Yeah. Here, I'll show you. If you guys don't believe me. Hey, look at that. It's Vermilion Rain. We'll count that as almost the bail there. Or maybe that could be the hotel room later. We still need to get bailed out. Let's see. I just want to show you guys the video from earlier. What happened. So just so you realize I'm not making shit up. I mean, it's incredible. Let's see. All right. So this is the video from today, and look at this. Look at this. Oh, you can't see it yet. We'll have to wait till we get bailed out of prison. All right. So that's part of the bail. You ever get it? You are? I don't give a fuck? Is that what you're talking about? You? You're embarrassing? Here we go again. We're back with the trolls. Here they come. Booze when you get out. Well, apparently I've been drinking all show. I'm wasted right now. That's what the trolls think. Thanks, CR. All right, we're bailed out of the prison. Now, how do we get the Uber drive to the hotel room? They forgot one diagnosis for BK. It's called batshit crazy. Yeah. Did anyone else get a really offensive message from someone linking to this stream asking? No. Where are people like you coming from? You guys are so... These people are crazy. I think this is the largest number of trolls we've ever had. But we need to get out of the prison here. So, let's see if we can do it. How about 4? We're still short the... we need 3 more channel memberships. How about that? That'll get us out of this prison here. Gray, I'll get you a coffee after... Yeah, you said that every single time. See you later, Katie. And it never comes in. Finally made a live feed. Alright, so to get bailed out of prison, 3 coffees, that ought to do it. I mean, don't get all started at once. Let's see. Venmo bail. Oh, you sent a Venmo bail? Yeah, there's some bail there. We got, that'll be enough for the key inside the cake. God, do you guys remember when I used to get thrown in jail? That was when everybody was supporting the channel. Now it's like, yeah. Hell, I'm in prison. I'm not being bailed out. All right, there's some Rachel B. Well, like I said before, if you can't, like people can't afford anything. This is just for like if people can afford the channel and stuff like that. I don't want anybody sending anything if it's like affects them. You know, like oh my God, I'm not going to be able to make it. Anyways, I'll get out of here now. Definitely isn't the old days. I can tell you that. But anyways, look at the video from today, you guys. Look at this. I mean, I spent like hours making the, you know, detailed timeline part 2. Yesterday's video got 11,000 views. It was okay. But look at today. I mean, this is like the average right here. This little low, like this little line up here. You see that? It's not even close. It like just collapsed right out of the gate. And right now it's barely getting, you know, 331 views an hour is terrible. That means 10 hours from now that might be at 6, but it's going to keep dropping. So it just got crushed. I mean, a pretty good, you know, subscriber number, you know, 12 out of such a small view. But you see what I'm saying? Like, how does that even happen? When you have 160, you know, 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers, how do you get 3,000 views? Like, it seemed like you would accidentally get 10. You know? It's crazy. Hey, no problem, Becky. And thanks, CR, again there. The membership gifting queen. All right, we'll just have to keep waiting. We're still not there. So we got all these different things are going to be opening up. Defendant's Phase 2 mitigation, witness list, court minutes, reply in support of state's motion for examination of the defendant's pursuant. Reply in support of state's motion for examination. Defendant's objection to state's motion to examine. They'll probably say why. Hurwitz's declaration in support of motion for examination. Gage declaration in support of the motion to examine. State's motion for examination of the defendant. And then defendant's Phase 1 lay witness list. State's exhibit list. State's witness list. Defendant's objection to the state's requested jury instruction. State's response to defendant's proposed jury instruction. Defendant's second response to Exhibit S1 to state's first supplemental request for recovery. Let's see. I get your video coming from X mostly, YouTube sometimes. Yeah, I put it on X.
Crying face emoji. crying face emoji.
Oh, that's
Thank
cool
you
though.
for the
So you
wow.
actually are one of the ones
Rolling
that
on
get
the
it.
floor laughing emoji.
Yeah, well, I put it on X. I put it on like 7 or 10 different Facebook groups, my own, a whole bunch of different places, and it's just bizarre, to only get that few number of views. Really weird. Oh yeah, well, I do say hit the like button. I should say that, but I mean everybody. Here's the truth, everybody. Only like 2% of my entire channel has the notification bell clicked. YouTube actually has a stat on that. So you might want to go check that, you guys. I don't think most of you have. I mean, I know that most of you do not have the notification bell clicked. Wait, is that Cairo? Are you here, Cairo? Hey, Cairo, are you out there? Are you literally watching right now? That's crazy. That can't be like our Cairo. I haven't seen him in years. Let's see. I'm in the 2%. Okay, good. You're in there. Look at that. It looks like Cairo got a membership. It looks like him. That's his logo and everything. I wonder if somebody made a fake account. He's the one that the Chewbacca sound effect came from. I'm gonna have to go. Let me go check that out. Yeah, no, that's him. Huh. Weird. I think, anyways. I think it's him. People who win the gifted memberships don't need to be here. People who win the gifted memberships don't need to be here in chat. Yeah, but he used to be always here, a moderator. I don't know if he's here. I don't know. Nothing happens. We just. Hey Annie, are you okay? You seem obsessed with that. Can you just? Okay, let me ask you. I'll tell you guys. I'll say it again. I've said this 100,000 times on the channel. People ask. So here's the thing. Every single night, there's only usually, let's just say an average of 30 days a month, right? So if the channel brought in $250 a night, and then YouTube takes its 30%, the channel would bring in like $4,000 and there'd be absolutely no donations at all. So I make tons of videos to try to get ad revenue to come in. And then a lot of the generous freaks out there, we beat the 250, every night. And then I do the videos, and then combining those together, if the channel can bring in, $400 or $500 gross or something like that, at the end of the month, we'd have $15,000, right? And then that'd be $15,000 gross before I get taxed by the government, right? And then if we brought in $15,000, I'd probably donate like $5,000, and then the remaining 10 would get taxed because you'd get to write off the 5 out of the 15, so you'd be taxed on the 10, and that would leave 7. So it'd be $7,000 to the channel and $5,000 to charities. Does that seem like greedy or mean or shitty to anybody? No. Now, if the channel only brought in, let's say, net of $250 a night, let's say, and then at the end of the month there's $7,000, we're not going to be able to donate anything because I get taxed on that. You see? And it just isn't happening. So I know what it takes on a nightly basis to try to make something happen. All right? And if you don't understand it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay? But that's why it gets frustrating when we have nights where people are not helping at all. And then you have you're at a point. Tonight, turned into a lot better just recently. But if you have those nights, it's just, you can't make it. Okay, I mean, you could make it. I could survive as, like be able to, justify having a channel, but I would not be able to do the stuff that we've been doing. We've given $260,000 away by doing the same thing for 5 years. It just seems harder now to get people to, feel like, be part of that or whatever. And you're more than welcome to go donate to charities on your own and stuff like that. But we just kind of have like the bulk effect here where, like we just did 5,500 last month. I mean, that's almost unheard of by any other true crime channel out there. And yeah, it does get frustrating on those nights. You see it on my face. You hear it in the tone that I talk. It sucks. What am I supposed to do? I don't know how to pretend. I'm not an actor, I'm just who I am. Now, a lot of the other people can pretend, everything, it kind of reminds you ever dated somebody, either side, where you guys are arguing, you're arguing, and you're arguing. And then you go out, and they're immediately nice to everybody else, and they're getting along so well, and you're wondering, how in the hell do you act like that? You were just so mad and upset about something, and now you're just all happy and friendly. Well, I can't be like that. That's just not me. I can't act, So there you go. Nobody knows what you're talking about, Twitix, and nor will they ever know what you're talking about because you'll never be commenting again. You're one of those dumb people. All right, let's see. What do we got here? So anyways, I just kind of explained it to you. Yeah, the economy isn't great, but it's not bad. It's better than it was. I mean, for 4 years, everything went up a shitload. Now it's still kind of going up, but not anywhere near at the rate. So hopefully it'll reverse. Gas is cheaper most of the country. We'll see how it goes. Tweedledum and Tweedle... I don't know what to say on that one. Let's see. Yeah, so, I don't know. Does that make sense to everybody, what I just explained? That's how it works. And that's the only way I can do it, And I have to have better months sometimes than others, because every third month I have to pay taxes, where it's literally the entire, like this is our third, the quarter, right? So it's, July, August, September. That's all part of when you have to pay your quarterly taxes. So this entire month here goes right to the federal government, basically. I mean, it's like, it's a third, right? So it's a third, and your taxes are almost that, like 27%-ish. That's what you got to send in, and, Anyways, you guys. I've explained this stuff so many times, it's like ad nauseum. I don't know how many times I have to explain it to people. Yep, gas is way cheaper. Now, the thing is, if I wasn't donating, I could easily pay the taxes just with the 2 months that I donated from in there. But that's not what we're doing here. I have to pay taxes on the full amount, but I already gave away, That's just crazy. Isn't that weird? We get these really crazy people in here. These aren't real people. There's just like a band of nut jobs showing up in here. Defendant's trial brief. That might be pretty interesting. What do you think of that? What would be on that? You still there, Christopher? Defendant's trial brief. Man, I might have like everything. State's trial. I mean, man, who doesn't want to see these two things? I don't know, man. God, losers in here. Like I said, you guys, it's whack-a-mole tonight. Whack-a-mole. Same. Okay, hold on a second. And there we go. Let's see if you guys can get 5 more channel memberships out there. I just did 5 myself. Let's see if we can get 5 more from you guys. And that's one of the I gave out the 10 free ones a couple days ago and did 25 worth yesterday, 25 today. I probably gave them to a couple trolls in there. All the defenses they plan to assert, plus preserving in the record injections to court's rulings denying. Oh, you took away your comment because I was reading it. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to do the, but now it sounds like we're going to start getting files. I think there more documents are going to be coming out. Just trying to put the... Is that all that is? The state's trial brief is? Hey, look at that. There's D. Chambers and Dixie Hippie. Is there a troll or something? Because okay. These people. They just give themselves away. This is where YouTube should go back to their old @ you know, the other way with the ats on there. Hold on a second. All right, let's check this one out. This is the one that just commented on here. Let me hit more. Let's take a bet on the date. Now look at that one's kind of old there, you know. But this is one of the clowns who they're just doing the same comments over and over and over again. Nobody knows what you're talking about. Yeah. Nobody knows what you're talking about, Kim. We've gone through all the documents. There's really nothing, you know, we've done all the parts that are important. Have you noticing all this stuff, Carrie? These guys are just crazy people. Yeah. See, they're making it hard to just do a show. That's what their whole goal is to derail the shows. See, and that's what I'm actually thinking of going to channel members only live stream chats. I think it would go a lot smoother, except some trolls actually get the channel memberships. So why should I call them out more often, Shelky? You sound like you're wanting to. So look at, we had 584 votes, and are you troll watching? And 21% said yes. So that means 120 people watching are trolls. Okay, that's hilarious. Does anyone know why it was once reported that Ethan was killed in... that's just bad reporting, Todd. That's just bad reporting. Yeah, that was never the case. We know that, right? It's really obvious. You see, when Hunter goes up there, I mean, Xana's in the room, and it's just crystal clear. It was just bad reporting. A lot of that was going on. A lot of that's still going on with the books out there, completely bogus information, etc. Yeah, if I made it like members only, sometimes I think, well, if I did the members only at Oogla Boogla Freak or higher, you know, well, I don't want to do that though, because there's long-term freaks that are in the lower tier, but they shouldn't be not. But I just feel like at least, you know, you can pay. You know, the only problem is some of them get the free membership, so they would be in there, but it'd be definitely less. You know. Yeah, you just have to get that $1.99 membership to be in there. Pretty cheap for an entire month. That's like eating 1/30th of a Snickers bar every day for a month. Yeah, it probably would. Probably would. Anyways, let's see. Was there anything else in there? That was the opposition to vacate. Yeah, that was... So some of this stuff is already, this is part of the... I wonder if there's anything way away that we're just sort of not seeing. Hold on a second. Let me go to the 2024. I'm wondering if there's like some hidden document. Because sometimes they show up out of nowhere, like way back when it was a thing. Like this is Judge. Let's see. Let me go to this one. This one was Ada. Oh, that was Latah County. This is Ada County. Right. Okay. So let's see if there's anything back on this one. And nothing down there. Isn't that weird that all these people keep saying the same thing? Why are they doing this? Hold on a second. Hold on a second, you guys. I did read the documents. Who are these people? Yeah. We went over the only thing that was important in here was, these are all like these one-page documents that are just sort of like, comes now Brian Kohberger, by and through his attorney of record, and hereby moves the court for an order to seal defendant's motion. Just really boring shit. Never even read these, even when I was doing. If it's not over 2 pages, it's usually something procedural. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? Lisa Valenzuela or K. Me or Michelle H. or Allie Cake? It's crazy. Man, wild in there. I'm just watching and listening. Let's see if there's anything that popped up. So if you don't check these things every hour, you don't see it. So like right here, you click on this public link, and then you go over here, and that says 3 still. So I would look at this every 2 hours, and then one day it said 3 after it said 2. But you got to like almost have it sitting there and refreshing, because who knows? I'm getting worn out. Yeah, that's great, Ashley, but you didn't send anything to me. So good for you. What an idiot. Or they pay to do it. I'm in southern Indiana. I think I want to look at let's look at this again here. I keep wanting to modify this portion in here. And I wonder if we went out and opened up Dylan Mortenson's. Let me see if I can find that really fast. Probably was under I think that's the Idaho State Police files. No. Wait, maybe. Hold on. Idaho State Police. No. It's not under there. So it must be under the Moscow Police Department. Okay. And then in here, Dylan. This one. Is that the one? All right, let's see. That's different. Slightly nervous about it being a fact. Hey, thanks, Music Maker. Appreciate it. Series of events. Kaylee again. I was crying after. Hold on. Alright, I think I need to do like a Control Shift F. Watch this one. This one works pretty good. So you go grub. That's the only. It's only going to show up one time. Just that one word. That's all that matters. And then look underneath the Moscow Police Department. Let's see if it shows up in there. Hey, thanks, Music Maker, for gifting a membership. Wait, were the interviews with Dylan in that larger, that 500-page Idaho State Police document that had, you know, all the interviews and things in it, or was it in this one? Yeah, it's weird. It's we're seen walking. Okay, that was with sister. I interviewed an additional roommate, Bethany Funk, who told me she was at the residence during the commotion. She was on the second floor in the living room watching Vampire Diaries with Dylan. Was at the residence during the commotion. What the hell are you talking about? The commotion? Bethany said she was on the second floor in the living room watching Vampire Diaries with Dylan and an unidentified person. Bethany said at approximately 2 a.m., Madison Kaylee came home from the night out at the Corner Club bar located... Actually, hers is the story that's better. Located at... gave an address. In Moscow, Idaho. Bethany said she also believed Madison... And why do they redact an address like that? It's just... Bethany said she also believed Madison and Kaylee went to the grub truck Wandering Kitchen that was commonly located at the 300 block of South Main Street. Bethany said she and Madison let Madison's dog out, Murphy, sometime between 2 and 2:30. See, that's exactly where I have it. Bethany said during this time she observed no suspicious activity. Bethany said she returned inside while Madison was still outside with Murphy. Bethany said she went to bed around 2:30 hours. Bethany said Madison came into her bedroom. See, but that's weird because she said her door was locked. Into her bedroom sometime after 2:30 hours to ask if she knew where Murphy was. Bethany said she told Madison no, and Madison left. Bethany said she woke up in her bedroom, which was located on the first floor, to a sound she described as a firecracker. But when she told Dylan, it was more like a boom sound, so I'm wondering if that's the loud thud. Bethany said she initially thought the sound was a prank. According to Bethany's phone log she showed me, Bethany called Xana at 4:21, Ethan at 4:22, Madison at 4:22, etc. Right, so just keeping that in mind there, I've got right here where it says, 2:13, See, this is all fixed time here. Like it, well, not all of it. Yeah, I guess both of these are. So at 2:10:29, Dylan Mortensen texts the Uber driver. And then at 2:13, the Uber driver confirms that they're available. But then Madison, Dylan go downstairs to take Murphy out. I put it like 2:18. So like 5 minutes after they go, hell, let's not go there. And then I'm going to say right around 2:18, Kaylee's getting ready for bed. Because she said that. Like Kaylee was getting ready for bed. I think Dylan said that. And then at 2:20, Madison and Bethany take Murphy outside. Now, what did she just say, though? Didn't she say... was that 2... Was it this one? Let Madison's dog out sometime between 2 and 2:30. Okay, so that's consistent with that. Sometime between 2 and 2:30. So that's accurate-ish, you know, like we don't know. And then Bethany is cold, so she goes inside, and I have that at like 2:22. And then she gets some chips. You know, Bethany goes inside, puts something away, and gets a bag of chips. I remember that. She did 2 different interviews. She was more specific in another one. And then at 2:26, Kaylee begins calling her boyfriend Jack. That's a factual piece of information. So, you know, she's up here getting ready for bed, and then, you know, likely in bed right around 2:26, trying to call her boyfriend. And we know that she's not hanging out with Madison right now because she's still looking, you know, hanging out outside with Murphy or looking for Murphy. Bethany is in bed watching Baby Daddy at 2:30. Don't I have that? What did she say? Sometime... She returned inside while Madison was still outside with Murphy. Bethany said she went to bed around 2:30. Wow, that was just pure luck. Just nailed that thing. 2:30. Right there. Look at that. Bethany is in bed watching Baby Daddy at 2:30. And then she said sometime after 2:30, Madison asked Bethany. I said through the door, but she says in that one she went into the room. So who knows? But anyways, 2:34, asks her through the door, hey, have you seen Murphy? And then 2:36, Madison goes up to her room and gets ready for bed. And then 2:40, Madison gets into bed. You know, something like that. Just 4 minutes later, you know, quickly brush your teeth, throw your jeans and your Doc Martens off, jump into your sweatpants, you jump into bed. And then Kaylee goes to Madison's room, let's just say at 2:43, probably has her phone in her hand, and then says, hey, can you call Jack up? And then, you know, they both started calling. So, yeah, I mean, it just makes total sense, the order that's right here, you know? It's crazy. Let's see. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's report the trolls. Hold on, let me do this one. Get them on abusive hate speech or harassment and bullying. All right, there you go. Yeah, make sure to get these trolls. Get them on harassment and bullying. He's looking for grub truck. I remember I hear who was looking for grub truck. What are you talking about? Time for anti-troll alert. Anti-troll alert, you guys. Gotta punish the trolls. Punish the trolls by supporting my channel. How do you like that? Doesn't that sound great? I was looking... Now, what do you guys think of that? Doesn't that sound like a pretty good order? Kind of makes sense. You know, and then they're both in the bed of Madison's room, and then they go to sleep. I think they go to sleep right around 3 o'clock. They're in bed sleeping. You know, one of the things, you know, Dylan is still awake, or became awake at around 3:51. She somehow created a new contact on her phone at 3:51. And then that's about it. So maybe she just kind of popped awake, or maybe she was just sitting in her room watching TV. Who the hell knows, man? Thanks, Alley Cake, for the only troll spray of the evening. Appreciate it. Those trolls are really loving it, man. Like, yeah, look at that. Nobody supports them anymore. When we come in, we're just going to go ahead and... Yeah. Anyways, man, what a wait. They're wasting a lot of accounts, I can tell you that. Hey, Carrie Summers, your comment that said, the mods are so awesome got accidentally deleted. But I just read it out loud, and for some reason... Did you accidentally time her out, somebody? Hold on. Jesus. What happened? Oh, man. Got to fix that. Did you guys time Carrie Summers out? Because all of her comments are removed. Type something in, Carrie Summers. Yeah, or, you know, I don't know if you're timed out or... Cool. Okay, did she get timed out, Alley Cake, or what? What happened? I mean, I need to know what the numbers are. Is she going to be gone for 10 minutes or what? I guess Alley Cake accidentally... Well, so it's no big deal. Everybody accidentally does that, Alley Cake. I just want to know what happened. Was she timed out for how long or what? I saw the Gonzalez. I just want to let her know over the airways, you know. I'm a DNA detective to annoy the trolls. There you go. Look at that. Okay, 10 minutes. Hey, you'll be back in 10 minutes, Carrie Summers. Yeah, don't worry about it, Alley Cake. I mean, I think all of us have accidentally... Things are going by so fast. You click on the wrong one. Ah, geez, Carm 143. Where's the apology from yesterday? You were just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, well, thanks, CC, I guess. A lot of people I've never seen before tonight. I wonder why nobody watched the video today, though. It just seems like, you know, normally people are watching them. Maybe they're waiting for all of them together. But tomorrow's is going to be the one that's complicated because I actually started to add a whole bunch to it today. See, all the purple here is DoorDash. Look at all this stuff. I'll show you something that I was looking at today. You guys want to see this? It's pretty interesting little, like right in, let me see, where is it? When the DoorDash comes in, yeah, 346. Watch this. I didn't notice this the first time. So here comes the DoorDash driver. Look at this right here. See, right here is basically a reflection of the back of the DoorDash vehicle straight down Queen Road. And watch. See, look at this right there. That's its lights still sitting there. That means it's still, and you can see it. Now look at that. Then from right there, it moves forward. You can literally see the damn thing. It's crazy. It's almost like you can see the turn of the... I mean, isn't that wild? I don't know how I just didn't see that till today, but I was just looking at it, and it looks like... I mean, watch. So it stops for a moment. Like, that must supposed to be the brake lights or something. So right there, see, there's the vehicle right there, right? And so if you're looking at it like that, and it's driving away, now watch. And then it shows up in the reflection as it goes a little bit further down the road. And it seems to kind of stop right there. And then, like, it almost turned to the left, which would be into the parking spot. Like maybe just pulled in right behind the car or something. You see that? Isn't that wild? So that means it went this way, which is that way, into the parking area. Of course, nobody's paying attention to what I'm talking about, but hey, thanks, Carrie Summers. Hey, Karma, if you don't know what you did, I'm removing you right now. You were in here last night, you were rude as hell, and you're saying, what exactly did I do? Please, someone tell me. We're not going to waste our time trying to explain it to you. You were here last night. All right, so if I don't get the apology, you're going to be blocked from the channel permanently. Your comment was incredibly rude. You even said it was rude while you were here. So to pretend that you don't remember, it's not going to work. All right? And I don't give a damn if the other mods are like, hey, it's cool, Carm, because it's not, you know. Hey, thanks, Carrie Summers. Thank you. But anyways, did you see how you could see that? So that means the vehicle is... Oh, yeah, now look it up there. You can see it go across like that. So look right up in there, how it goes across. See that? Now, I don't know. I think that means that it's turning into the parking area behind there. And then, so look down there. Now, let me just scrub it around. See this bush right here? The lights on that? See how they're on right there? Like there's lights hitting it. That means the car is still sitting in the road. And it's like, okay, are those brake lights then? And then, you know... And then it looks like you can see it turning up there, and then literally go like into maybe just a really close into the parking area there. Right. I don't know how you guys are accepting her saying, oh yeah, what did I do? I don't remember. Give me a break. She came in and even said that her own comment was rude, and now she can't remember. That's a joke. I was answering Gray as to why people didn't watch the video. What was the reason? What was the reason I am a DNA detective? I think people have moved on. No, they haven't. That isn't why. Yeah, that's... yesterday, the same video on part 1 got 11,000 views. I can accept that. Yeah. Yeah, maybe she was just drunk. Who knows? I mean, if that's the answer, I'll accept that. But to pretend that you didn't do anything, I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I think there's tons of people want to see it. And I was going to cover the Gilgo Beach, you know, Lisk case tonight, but then all of a sudden, you know, the documents became available and we had to go over those. But then, you know, like today I was looking at this, I thought it was so interesting. Just the lighting effect on the windows associated with the movements. So if we go, it kind of made me wonder, see, look at the lights, okay. So it comes in and then the lights turn off, but then they kind of go back on, like it turns and then they're off. See, there was some light that was still on that car. And I think it's still, I think that means that it's sort of parked on the road, right? Because look at the lights right there. See, like, and you move it forward and then, boom, they turn off. So that means for 2 minutes, the car is still there Or maybe there's like a door open or something. Because it's right there on the street. That is the DoorDash driver that's creating that little light right there. Well, that wasn't a live stream. It was a premiere. It wasn't a live stream. Yeah, I think there's tons of people that are still interested in it. I am. Yeah, I don't know what cases. I know that Donna, whatever the hell her name is, that case was something, but I don't know. That one was boring to me because it's just so obvious. It's so clear. There's nothing intriguing. There's nothing to find, to figure out or anything. Hey, thanks, Debbie Moore. I know, yeah. They're all the same, with the same information, basically. So let's just see. I want to see when the next... All right, so here comes the DoorDash driver here. And just, her cell phone and everything doesn't light up anything other than herself. There's no bushes lit up. And it's funny, you can absolutely tell that's the same person in those interrogations. Now, one of the things that's interesting, though, is like I was looking at this again. So at 3:52:34, there's that one little light that clicks on first. Now, what is that? So what's interesting then is look right up here, that top window. That's almost as if a car is turning on. Like they just get into their car and turn on their lights. And they're up right behind 500 Queen Road, which is, let's see, let me show you. Go to here. Yeah. Not there. Go back a little bit. Right here. So see, if you were up on this high road right here and your lights were going way over there, they would hit that top window. See? It wouldn't hit this window unless you're down on this level. And I don't know, man, did the DoorDash park right there, maybe? That kind of makes some sense. Like she pulls up and goes right into this spot looking for... But that's pretty crazy, right? I mean, if you look at that light, it means that the car is up on that high road, and this is the one, the tan color vehicle. So I think it was coming from parked up on the side. That's why we don't see it on the Linda Lane. Let's check something out. Hold on. We might be able to find something here. See, I love doing this kind of stuff. Like, I wish I could spend, like, my entire days just doing this stuff. So that was at 3:52, right? So let's... Oh, man. Okay. I guess I have to take the... which one's closest? That one. I'll just pull this way over here. I'm using that for... Oh, man. Okay, it's in here. Oh, yeah. That's kind of what I was looking at. So check it out. I think I just figured out where... I can tell you where the tan color car was parked. That's how cool this is. Here, I'll show you. Hold on a second. So we were looking at this, and then we were over here. No, we weren't on that one. This one. So 3:52:56. See that light up there? Now let's go to 3:52:56 in the surveillance. Now I got to go find that again. Okay, what number? 21. So 3:52:56. Is that right? God, I'm just trying to see if I can see any light change right there. I don't see much. $352.56. It almost seems like there is a slight something, but not enough to know for sure. Hey, thanks, Molly Hall. So that was 352.56, and that's at the top up there. So how's that? See, that's the only way to get that bright light is that the car's at the top, and then watch. So, I mean, it's sort of interesting because then it moves. Can you guys see that light that I'm talking about? And then look at it goes down to the next one. I mean, it's so obvious, all right? So it's behind 500 Queen Road there. And then it goes, now it's heading down the hill, and now it's at the bottom right now. See, boom. You know, I'm sure it didn't make that sound. That'd be a weird sound that if a car went, boom. But, yeah, at the top of the the third floor, I mean, I don't know, I'm not going to call it the third floor, but it's like that back level. It's at the top. And then it goes down, and 5 seconds later, oh, and then it's 9 seconds later, it's at the bottom down there. You see that, and then boom, it goes around. So you can kind of use that. I mean, it's interesting, because where did that car come from? I actually think it was parked right at the beginning, and that's why there's no light. I think that car was parked right here, back there. I don't even know if, does it have street view? I don't think so. But we don't need it because we've got this. So I think the car was parked basically where I am right now. It was just parked right here, and that's why there wasn't enough light on its back brake lights to light up anything back here. All right? So, because it was just parked, you could almost say, like, I mean, how the hell did it come out, though? I mean, backwards? Usually, I mean, I guess you can park facing the wrong way if you want to. Oh, yeah, as a matter of fact, there you go. There's a truck. This car is parked that way. Okay, so, yeah, I think that makes sense. So that car was parked right basically here where that truck is. And its headlights hit the top of there, and then it comes down. That's why you can't see it on the Linda Lane footage on number 21 here. See, here's Linda Lane at 352, and there's no car back here. See? So that means it was way over at the start of the building where not enough light could actually hit the bushes back here. All right, so that was kind of cool. You know, that's where it was parked. You can actually determine that. I mean, every time I watch these things, I see a hell of a lot more. I can tell you that. All right, so we're looking at that, 352.56, and then it leaves. And so, you know, interestingly, though, right when it, you know, it does light up that spot, right in that exact spot that her car lit up, but she never made it up to that third level, right? Watch, because when she comes in at 346, watch how she drives by. Now it's on that second level there. And never makes it up to the third. And let's see, it's lit there, and then you can actually see her car. It's crazy, right in this little window here. And you can even see what it's doing. It stopped and it kind of turned, drove to the left a little bit, which would be to her right. And is that around the corner? Don't know. Then there's a light on her vehicle right there. And it's obviously not up on the third floor or level. Although we could scroll it to see if there's a, I mean, you know, sort of interesting, a little extra light on that one. But, and then right there it turns off. See that? Right there, her vehicle turns off. So is that when she moves up to the back parking lot at that point? Hey, thanks, Lisa. And then she's walking there. And I was expecting to see the car lights turn back on to drive if she didn't move up there already. So I was looking for that. So I think she, right here at 3:48:12, that little light indication is her, like that might be brake lights or something, and then those get turned off, and then she goes up and back to the back parking lot, and then about 3 minutes later she's down here. Absolutely perfect timing for that. And then she's looking around, and then but then I was thinking, what is this? You know, but that's actually, so she walked by, so it's 3:51:46, and now she's walking, then she passes the tan vehicle as it's driving, and here it goes, boom, it's out of there. But now I was trying to find, when do we see her car go back down to the front of the house? That's what I was looking for. And then, you know, he comes back in at 3:56:33. And that's why I think this light right there, see that? Not that one, right before that. Hold on. Right there. I think that's her. You know, it's crazy too, because, you know, how come it doesn't show up there? See that, how there's a light there? You guys looking at that? See how there's a light right there? That's not Kohberger's car. That's like it's her car, but she's like on the corner with the light. I don't know. It's just bizarre. And then, so that was at her, that light turned off at 3:58:04. I almost think that that is the DoorDash driver. And then she pulls over, and then Kohberger comes behind her like 16 seconds later. And look, now you see his car because he's doing exactly what we would expect in the window there. So here he is. He makes the turn from behind, and he's going. I gotta go back. Hold on. You'll see it though up there. Watch. So look how cool that is. I mean, that's just crazy. Oh man, look at that. So that proves this is amazing, you guys. I got to tell you. So like this right here is her car turning off of his car. I mean, so watch this right here. It's right up here. That little light that you're seeing is right there turning. That's Kohberger's car. It's right there, and he's turning. That's why it's coming from that direction, left to right. It's going. So like on the camera, on the glass over there, it'd be going. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but it'd be going left to right, and then kind of going straight. So if you look at that window right there, see that light? That's Kohberger's vehicle on that side street. And then watch this. I'll play it in real time so you can see it. See that? It went right. And now watch. It's turning, and then boom. That window picks up that exact street right there. Watch. See that? And then he drives by, and boom, here he comes. God, that's crazy. So now we know what this means. So if we look at this, that's the car on that side street. And then that's the car right as it's turning, and it's high enough to be seen in that reflection. And then right now it's at the bottom level, and now you can see the headlights right there. I mean, isn't that nuts? Now if that's not super chat worthy, you guys, I don't know what is. Look at that. That's crazy. Now we can go back to the DoorDash driver. That's what the whole point of that was there. And we can also check it. Let's check it on another loop. Let's go back to the 3:32 when he's leaving. Does it do something similar? And he might have turned his lights off sometimes too. Oh, look at that. Did it again right there at 3:32. See how the lights left of that? That means it's turning. Boom. Now it's going to go down. That's amazing. So that's the one at 3:32. Let's see if it does something similar at 3:39. When it leaves, okay, right in this one. All right, here we go. I saw something up there. Here we go. Yeah, there he goes. He's
Thanks,
left.
Reck.
He's going down that side street. Now he's in. Now he's right on that reflection's exactly down Queen Road, and then he goes down, and here he goes. Boom. So that was exactly the same each time. Ew. That's crazy, man. I was sort of noticing this thing. What can we determine from this? I might actually just skip over to making a video on this tomorrow. This is like, I think this stuff's crazy. But it's in the timeline. I just feel like it needs to be by itself. Because this stuff is this is the shit right here. I mean, that's crazy. So there we got that. And I think if we go, hey, thanks Case Crack, Bill Clark, Wool Lab, and Jamari. Very cool. Let's go to the 346 time frame right here. Now this is the DoorDash driver. It's kind of like the reverse of that move. All right. So when it's driving right here, it's the back end of it. And then, there you go. Now you see it there, because now it's up near the level as it turns. You know, when Kohberger's car was turning, it's right near that spot now. And then it sort of stops there, right on the corner. And then what does it do now? Oh, look at that. Okay. So, I think that right there proves, if you're just using that the DoorDash driver, this is what the DoorDash driver did. They didn't go into this parking lot. They drove around like this and stopped right there. They stopped right here, and then they went out and walked around, did all their, whatever they're going to, they didn't walk around yet. They stopped right there. I guess maybe from there she couldn't see something, and then eventually moved up to there, then walked back down, and then came up and then passed the tan vehicle. Man, that's crazy, right? Thanks, Carrie Summers. So doesn't that, I think that's what that means, right? So look at that light there. And that's when Kohberger is on that side street. It's high like that. So let's go back. You just kind of remember that where that was. And then here goes Kohberger. Let's back it up a little bit. I mean, look at that. That's exactly the spot right there. It's just the rear end of her car. But see that right there? You know? And then, boom. And then right there it goes down. Now I want to see when she's leaving at 4 o'clock. Now maybe we can see where she was parked. Oh my God, it's Ted Bundy. The serial killer comes through again. Thank you, Ted Bundy. Who cares about that couple licks at the phone data? We already went over that.
High golden blow.
The serial killer. Hey, thanks, Ted Bundy. All right. Now let's check it out, you guys. Let's zoom in on the window. Where is this? Ooh, look at that. That's high. It looks high up there. And then it goes down, just like Kohberger's car. Man, was she actually ever in the front parking lot? This makes total sense. That's where she should be. Although she said she moved to the front to deliver the DoorDash. So is that a little bit lower, I guess? So there it's higher, and then it kind of comes around the corner, and then it's heading out. You'll see it right there. All right. God, it's so similar. It's crazy. It's almost like, you know, I don't think she ever parked in the front parking lot. I think she parked right there. I think she parked there, drove up to here, and then parked there again, and didn't want to pull into the lot with her headlights on. And this is an easier way to leave instead of going in there and then backing out with all that complex cars. I think she parked right there. And I think, you know, like, when did she pull forward, though? I mean, maybe, let's see if there's some random light that shows up on there at some point. That's Kohberger. Come on, what's going on, you guys? You're clicking on something. What's that? You see, there's something happening at 350. See, that's the one. See, I think that's her at 358.04, but that's on that lower level, so I don't know what the hell that is. See that light right there? And then these bushes light up. So try to watch, like, at the same time, these bushes and then that window right there. See, there's a little light on the... Well, it's on the top part of the door. And then... Alright, and then see, that's Kohberger at the top window up there, driving by and then going down, and then he's out of here. So she would have to be on the lower level at that point, if that was her car that made that light on that lower window. You get what I'm saying? And then here she is, leaving. That's crazy. And then look at the height of her car at that point. So I guess I don't know what made that light before Kohberger drove by. Because this is her vehicle. High up. Reflecting even in the window right there, see? That means she's up at the turn level off of that side street. And it's only when you, to get lower, is right now. Now that you're driving forward, and it's interesting because, you know, her headlights, the headlights are now right of the windows because, you know, just the angle and the height and everything. I don't know. That's pretty weird. I think you could come up with just a really tight situation, you know, time frame using just those lights on that house. And seeing what that vehicle's doing. Well, thanks, Marcy Gilmore. Do you think I should make I think I just should make a video just on that. Do you think that'd be interesting to people? Or it's part of the third one, but now I feel like that sort of needs to be a... what do you call it? Like an addendum or something. An exhibit. Yeah. At some point, she had to have turned around. Yeah, it's really weird, though. Yeah, I mean, when she gets up, that's exactly what I was thinking. The other day, I was thinking, when she got to the top, you know... she would have turned around. You know what we should look for? Let's see if somehow there's a light on the top of 1127 if she turned high enough. Just a little faint light even up there. Let's just kind of zip through. You know, like, let's see what happens. You know, that's sort of interesting there, but that car is lighting up here. So that is the, that's actually the tan vehicle leaving. Yeah, that's Kohberger's car. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I'm just wondering how accurate her story is in her remembering. You know, some of the stuff doesn't make a lot of sense, you know. Because her story is that, first of all, I think she's wrong about the upper left window. That was actually the second floor, Xana. Long dark hair. She's not on the third floor in the bathroom. Then she says that we know that she's wrong when she says she parked up above and the guy drove by her. Something like that. It was the order was wrong, technically, what she was saying. I can't remember I remember that there was something wrong, but I remember the precise thing that was wrong. I guess what we could do is let's maybe throw out the DoorDash driver really quick. Let me find that one. I think I've got that listed as DoorDash. And there it is right there. So what did she say? She initially parked in the front of 1122 King Road, but I think it was on the side road. Although, the thing is, you look at this, and that parking spot is higher, but it's really kind of low, though, just in general, that is higher, but it's not as high as that side road there. So the lights, when Kohberger is coming around, we can identify, we know for sure that Kohberger is on that side road, and that's much higher than this. So those lights should have been much lower on that reflection. But it's definitely higher than down here. That's for damn sure. So, I might look at that. Is it this one? Yeah, she initially parked in front of 1122 King Road, and you could see a female in the top left window. And then the person listening to her said, the third story bathroom. Well, I think it's the top left living room window. Said she saw the same female a couple more times in the same window. Right, so that's going to be Xander Kernodle on the second floor, upper left window. And ducked down when she looked. Yeah, that's bullcrap. She drove to the back parking lot, she says, behind 1122 King Road, and parked. She said she could see the back courtyard area. That makes sense. Noticed all the lights were on. Then she stated her map told her to walk into the back of the house, but she did not feel comfortable doing so because there was no path. She said she started to walk down the road, which runs north and south immediately to the east of the residence, and she said a tan sedan drove next to her. See, that's absolutely not true, right? Like, everybody knows that's not true. And here's how we know that's not true. If you go to the video, I'm not saying she's intentionally, I just think that's not an accurate statement. She's not lying, that's just her remembering. So here is the DoorDash driver, right here. See the DoorDash driver? Right there walking around? That's at 3:51:40. So she's actually walking back up towards her car when she passes the tan van, and the vehicle, and it leaves. See that? And she said she was walking down when the van passed, the vehicle passed her, and that can't be true, So that's the part that's wrong. And let's see, and she saw this guy that's not Kohberger, doesn't even look like him at all. So she said she parked right next to him. They may have told her, man, you must have been parked right next to him. So she repeated, oh, I parked right next to him. But the person she saw wasn't Kohberger. But I bet she tells, when she's in that interrogation, she says, oh yeah, I parked right next to him, because cops told her that you must have parked right next to him at one point. Because Kohberger parks in that back area every single time he drives around. And maybe they were able to determine when she pulled forward, but it's hard to do. I got to tell you, that's hard to do in this. I mean, what's interesting is right here at 3:58, right there where that extra little light comes on. Like, what is that right there? Is it? I don't think that's the spot. It's 358, like 05. Right there, right? So that light right there, I think, is the DoorDash driver. I don't think it's Kohberger's car, because where he's coming from does not put a light there. He's coming around the corner. The only time it ever did that was when the that other vehicle that left at 350. Well, actually, yeah, the 353. See that light right there? The tan vehicle. Let's go back to right here. So the tan vehicle put a light there too. And so when it's coming down, there's a light there. Except, you know, he goes straight for it. So, but that's the one. He's parked right up above on the side of 500 Queen Road, right next to the side street. I don't know. That's just too quick to do a turnaround. Yeah, it did say that. It said to use it, but she didn't use it. Weirdly, the GPS coordinates say that the back door is where it was dropped off at the back door. You know, the most likely GPS coordinates is at the back door. Yeah, didn't you hear that part, Marcy? It was pretty clear. I don't know. Why would she need to duck down? I know what you're saying, the window. You know, I don't know. Maybe. I guess. I don't know. They usually take a picture of delivery address. Right, right. She did when she finally dropped it off. She took a picture. I wonder if that's out there somewhere. You know, literally dropping it off. What's funny, Golden Blue? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's possible. Sure, I mean, she had her underwear on, so she kept ducking down, waiting for the... Yeah, what happened this time? Any chance that it's a car door opening up? Yeah, it's all kinds of possibilities. You know, I was thinking maybe, you know, there's a couple times where I think maybe she's opening her car door, but then how would her car door, you know, like this little time right there, this light goes off. That's not Kohberger's vehicle. Can't be. You know, it's like right... See, right there. Or not Kohberger. I mean, this is the tan vehicle. What was the one? What the time frame I'm talking about? 358. Yeah, 358.05 is what I'm talking about. Right there, that little light right there. That looks like a brake light or a car door opening. You know, something like that. And that's what I was thinking. That's her car. She's getting into it. Or getting out of her car right then. And it's just parked there right on the corner, perhaps, you know. So, I mean, I think the DoorDash driver did not go into here. She drove around and parked here originally on the side, then drove up here and just kind of pulled in. Although, I don't know why, if she's right there and had to turn around, her light should probably hit the top of 1127 over there. So I don't know, but she says she came up here. I mean, I guess it's technically possible she pulled in over here and got out of her car and looked over there and then walked down, you know, first walked down there. I mean, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It's really complicated because it feels like she drove up there at this time frame. You see that light right now? That's her car, and then it goes off right there. I think that's her driving to the back parking lot. And then she gets out of her car from up there and walks down. That's what she said. She parked up there, walked down. She just has the timing of when she passed the tan vehicle wrong. Then she goes up. And as she's walking up, here comes the tan vehicle that was parked on the side of 500 Queen Road. And then drives away. And now she's up at her vehicle looking and probably says, yeah, drop it off. And she goes, I don't want to do that. I want to drop it off at that porch. And here comes Kohberger. So she's still back there. And then I think this right here is, that's right. This is when she pulls forward in, you know, like that little 35805 is her car right now. That light right there is her car. And maybe she didn't turn her lights on when she drove down that street, and she just, I mean, how long is that? 2 seconds? Does that look like, it almost feels like that's a car moving, that sound. But she doesn't have her lights on, probably. And then here comes Kohberger. See, I think that's when he passed her. She just pulled into the front area, but she's on that side street, and then Kohberger flies by. All right. Then after that, she delivers the DoorDash, and then look at this. The craziness up here is right up here in this window. That means she's on the side street. Watch. She's on the side streets. The lights go to the right. That means she drove a little bit. Now you might say, well, maybe that means she's in the parking lot and exiting it. But I don't think so. I think she was faced. That's like headlight brightness, right? That's really bright. So if she was, she would have had to back out to make the light, and it's not high enough. I think it would have lit up down below here or in the middle, like you wouldn't even see it. So that means she's on that side street, and then look at right now the car's turning onto Queen Road, and now it's going straight down Queen Road, but because of the angle, it's leaving the reflective area of the window, and now it's right here driving down. So that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy right there. Well, it's not irrelevant. It's us trying to figure out exactly what happened. That's what we're trying to figure out, not Jimmy. But you can go do whatever the hell you want to do. You're irrelevant as a person. I mean, that's a lot worse, I can tell you that. Let's see. She wasn't thinking the unthinkable. Yeah, see, I like trying to figure this stuff out. It's actually, what it's good for, too, is critical thinking in cases to come. Like I always get better and better and better and better at what I'm looking at and how to look at stuff. And if you go, that's why, you know, all the way from Kylie Rodney to now, you know, and even way before that, you know, Jodi Arias to now, I'm like 10 times better. So, hey, yeah, you got it wrong. We're just trying to get the timeline, Jimmy. You're not welcome here, though, Jimmy. So somebody blocked that account. I'm not sure why it wasn't blocked the first time. Let's see. It's fun doing this, though. Yeah, I think it actually is. I think it's valuable to figure out and be able to sort of look at things and figure out things that other people can't figure out because you're looking at details that other people just skip right over. So you look at it and you figure it out, and now we can sort of see that, yeah, I don't think she was ever parked in the parking lot of 1122 King Road. I think she was parked on the side and would walk in and delivered it and then walk back to her car. So I think it's valuable if you're trying to figure out exactly precisely how things went down. You know what I'm saying? Right, exactly. That's interesting to me. Some people don't think that's interesting. I do, you know. And I guess that was one of the things that was sort of interesting in the Chris Watts case is, you know, there were people that were claiming you could see the kid's feet underneath the truck And at first I didn't really believe it, but I looked at it, and by God, those really are the little kids that he was scurrying into his pickup truck to take off to their demise. You could see their feet. I mean, that was pretty crazy. But, you know, I had to look at it myself and analyze it, and there it was. Pretty crazy. Of course, we don't talk about Chris Watts, but that was kind of an interesting moment. Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, it's just kind of like you see stuff like that, and it's real, you know. And just like the Kylie Rodney case, it was real. You know, people just said, Gray, that's bullshit, Gray, that's it. And it was absolutely true, factually true, that her car went into the water and slowly sank, and she was in it. And you could see it right there on the surveillance footage overlaid on top. Nighttime fire camera video laid over the top of daylight camera video, and you could see where the lights were going, and one of the lights went out into the water, faded, and sunk into the water, and that was her car. You know what I always found amazing about that is not one news outlet picked that up. Not one. And it was absolutely real. I mean, unbelievable, isn't it? A sign what, Matt? Yeah, you'd be sick, but not if you were saving your own life, you know? Right. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to get out of here, you know? It's been 3 hours and 22 minutes. I want to thank everybody for, you know, who helped supports the channel tonight. You know, we had Ted Bundy come in late, kind of made it sort of a somewhat normal type night. Then we had Allison Mox, Allie Cake, D. Chambers, Teresa staring blankly, Murray, Apatheticate, K. Me, Lollipop, Christopher Marshburn, Teresa staring blankly, Murray. Thank you for all your support there. Then Digital Artist Lee, Apatheticate again gifted one. Then Michelle H, Allie Cake, Jeanette Trent, Teresa staring blankly again. Thanks, Teresa staring blankly. Send me a picture of you staring blankly. I'm going to put it on the screen. Angie Jacquez, Little Kaza, Janet Trent gifted a membership. Ashley Violet, K, me, Karen. I'm a gal, yo. Thank you. Patty Jensen. Thomas Dubrol, let's see. Dubrolski. Dubrowolski. Thomas Dubrowski. Monica Powell, Linda Sherry, Kathy Jones, Forgetful Mandy, Rachel B., David and Sonia Garrison, DNS Roofing LLC. Ashley Violet gifted a membership. 2 in a row, actually. Then Richard Watts. His name is the only time we can say Watts in here. Then Kimberly Hunt, Neighbors, Lizzie Robb, Michelle H., CR gifted 5. Luciano Braginski. Vermilion Rain, CR again. Rachel B, then CR gifted a membership. Then Dixie Hippie, Kathy Jones, Carrie Summers, who got accidentally timed out. Then we have I gifted 5. And then D Chambers gifted 1. Dixie Hippie gifted 1. Music Maker, 28 months. God, what is that? Over 2 years, 2.5. Music Maker, then Allie Cake, I'm a DNA Detective, Carrie Summers, Debbie Moore, Molly Hall, Case Cracked, Bill Clark, Wool Lab, Jamie, and Carrie Summers, and then Ted Bundy, right at the end there. Maybe I'll have to get all these names and put them do a spin tomorrow at the beginning of the show. I wasn't finding the time. Too many trolls in here tonight. Well, I hope you guys liked the show. Pay no attention to the trolls. I actually have a full-on You know, there's a channel out there that uses my name, my likeness. You know, every single video that they make is about me. So, you know, if you ever stumble upon that one, just go ahead and report it. It's absolutely a vile pile of shit channel that invents, you know, like they come up with, like it's my words, but they imply meaning to it that isn't the reality. All right, so yeah, so you know, if it affects you, I'm sorry for your loss. Okay, because that means you're believing idiots. They're the same type of people as the pro-burgers, conspiracy nutters whose brains don't work. All right, well, thank you, Music Maker, and thank you. And I don't know if Alley Cake's still here, but don't worry, we've all timed people out accidentally. And thanks. Oh yeah, and also we've got the. Don't want to forget the. Let's see, we had Bill W. 3 different times on Venmo. Very cool. So thank you for that. And then we had Trish on Venmo. And then Sonia G on Venmo. And then we had Lisa Valenzuela buy me a coffee, and Sonia G again on Venmo. And by the way, Sonia, if you're still out there, send me your address and so forth, and I'll send you a notebook, because you know, either one of those would have bought a notebook. So yeah, go ahead and send me your address. And there you go. All right. I think that's everybody. It's hard to say sometimes. All right. Well, I hope you guys found it interesting, especially that end part. That was crazy. I was looking at that earlier, and then I thought, well, why don't we just take a look at what does this mean at this point? You know? Let me see that last time. Let me see when it's leaving at a high rate of speed. What does it do up on that window? See, look at that. Same damn thing right there. As it comes down the side street, it's right there. So it comes down the side street. There's headlights looking like it kind of hits over there, and then it goes to the right and then straight down really quick. And then zip by the camera and out of there. So it does it every single time, exactly the same. And it's interesting how her car does the same. Oh yeah. So look at this. So remember earlier we had the car that was parked up there, right? So this is Kohberger when he does his 3-point turn. Remember how he goes back behind? I'm sorry, I'm still here, but anyways, the car goes back here and it does a 3-point turn and then goes back this way for the only time of the night. That would mimic that tan vehicle. So let's see that, and I think it does. See, like right up here at the top, it's coming back. Now its headlights are on. It's at that top level, and now it's going down the hill, and then, yeah, like right there. How far does it have to go down? So that's crazy. So this level here is side street height. See, right there, that's side street height. And then right now, it's almost to the bottom, right? Yeah, look at the lights right there. So, yeah, interesting. And see, right up here, it's at the top up there. I just think that's so cool that you can see that kind of stuff. Like the height of the vehicle, it's behind 500 Queen Road right now. And then right there, it's starting to go down that steep hill, but he's right at the top of it. So you're looking at that. Like right here, see the headlights are beaming and it's going down that hill and it's still kind of going forward. And then once it gets to this height, it's at that second window. And then down right there, you can't even, I think it's just low lights. So that's at the top. And then right now it's passing the side street. Isn't that cool to be able to just see that? It's passing the side street right now. And then right now it's probably passing 1122 King Road. And then let's just see. Yeah, boom, that makes complete sense. So when it's in the middle of the window, right there, that's when it's passing 1122 King Road. When it's at the top of the window, that's when it's at the height of the side street turning. And we know that because on the other times it's coming down the side street, that's where the light is, right there. See, now right here is in front of 1122 King Road. And then right now you can't see it because it's off to, you know, the angle, and then boom, it disappears. And, you know, this is when it tries to turn around or park. I guess we can watch this. Let's just see what it does after this. This is sort of going to mimic sort of the DoorDash driver, I guess. So it's coming in, and let's see, it's sort of lighting up those bushes there. Now they're off. See? And then look over here, though. That's crazy. And we should be able to see it right up here now, because it goes up to the top level. Yep, there it is. Yeah, now it's behind 500 Queen Road. And then, oh, wow, look at that. You can literally see the reflection of the entire car moving right there. Look how crazy that is. Look at that craziness. Watch this. I mean, see that? Like literally just, there's the car moving up the hill there. And then you don't see it anymore because it got far enough up the hill and around the corner. Well, not around the corner, but... Well, let's see. Hold on a second. So it's right here at the top. What time is this? 4:07:21. And let's see when we can't see that light anymore. 4:07:30. And then if we go over to this camera, we go to 4:07. Oh, look at that. Man, that's exactly why. Look at that. 4:07:27, 4:07:30, it's turning. That's why you can't see the damn thing. Holy shit, that's crazy. Look at that. Woo! Man, I don't know why that's so cool to me, but man, that's just freaking nuts. Where is that thing? Okay, I gotta go back to that. See, look right up in that window up there. Look at this. You literally can see the car the whole time it's driving back there. And it's going really fast. Watch this. And then right now it turned. And look what time it is on my... It's right there, 4:07:30. That's why you can't see the light anymore. Man, that is absolutely crazy. Let me back it up again. That part right there is creepy for some reason. See, here it is. It gets to the top of the hill. Now watch. There it is. I'm going back and forth. That's like the car moving away. You know, it's not crystal clear, but you can just see that that's what that is. And then the light gets bright, and then it turns around the corner, and you can't see the light anymore. And right there, it's 4:07:32. Then you go over to this one, and it's 4:07:31. And then 32, it's around the corner. See, it's like already driving by the camera. Wow. That's pretty freaking cool. Isn't that amazing? Let's look at one of the other times then. Let me go back. Sorry, I was about to get out of here, but now I just stumbled upon that. Let's go to the other time, because every other time it does go back there. So let's go to the 4:30 one. Should do the same damn thing, but slower. All right, so there it is. We should see the car in this window first, and then that one. Okay, there it is. And it's climbing up the hill, and up there it is, going into there. And we should see the similar kind of thing where it's, there it is, driving slowly away up at the top. And then it goes around the corner now. All right, now let's see what time it is. This is 3:30:58. Now we're going to go back over here. And we're going to 3:30. Right there. Hold on a second. Oh man, I think it does it again. Here it is. 3:30:58. I can't even see where I'm at here. Wait, no, that's 3:39. Excuse me. Got to go to this one. All right, so there's 3:30, and then 54, 55, 56, 57, and it turns to 58, 59. Oh man, that's just beautiful. I think that proves that that window up there literally shows the entire time the car is driving and turns. How crazy is that? That is absolutely nuts, you guys. That is, that's absolutely, so hit that like button for God's sakes, you guys. Man, that's crazy. Let's just do one more test. The other one was going to be at, let's just do the second one at 3:38 or 9 or whatever the hell time. There he comes. Here he goes. And we'll just zoom in right over here. It's going to hit this light, this window. Then as it goes up the hill, it hits that one. And the camera's absolutely still, so... And there it goes to the top. And then we'll see that thing where you can just see it driving away again. There it is, driving away. And then it goes around the corner, and that time is 3:39:10. So we go over to here. And go to the next set here, and it'll be showing up here in just a second. Right there, 3:38:59. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There it is, 8, 9, and then it turns at 10, and that's why the lights disappear from, I mean, so that's absolutely proven as a fact at this point. That now you can actually literally see the entire car's movements. So the pro-burgers who think there was some miraculous switch out of a vehicle at that point, and it's actually a cop car at that, you know, you're wrong too, all right? Yeah, well, it's crazy. It's the same footage we've had. I just sort of stumbled upon lights earlier, and I thought I'd revisit it tonight. Now I'm starting to see all kinds of shit. It's crazy. I mean, so now every time I watch these, I see something extra. So I just, man, that's just unreal. That's unreal. Oh yeah, that was when it was disappearing at the top. 3:39:10. All right, and then it comes around. All right, now watch this. As it comes around, watch this right here. Comes around, and then you'll see the lights right here as it's turning from the side road onto Queen. So here we go. What was that up there? Anything? Yeah, that's sort of interesting. It sort of looked like something, but that's not where his car is. Right there. So there you go. There's the light as it's on the side road turning on to Queen, and then it's going to drive by the camera next. God, that's cool. That's like the coolest thing I've ever seen. Hey, thanks, Jess F. There you go. Look at that. An organic super chat. All right. Anyways, hope you guys found that interesting. I'm glad I stayed on for just a couple extra minutes because that part right there, I just noticed again. It was like, wow, this is nuts, right? The tail of the crazy lights. They show everything. The only thing we can't see now is, you know, the weird part is we now have video evidence of the entire route, even on the Linda Lane camera until it, so basically it's like this. We have video evidence of the entire route as it comes in, and this whole route back here, all the way through here on the Linda Lane camera. The only thing that's missing is right there, because we have video evidence as it's turning, that lights hit right there. So you're just kind of missing this little, you know, 50-foot area there and this spot right there, but amazingly, we actually have video evidence of the car right here as it's turning to there. So you're only missing like from here to here and from there to there. That's the only part missing from it. So anyways, hope you guys found that interesting. For all of you who stuck around, pretty crazy stuff right there. And that's why you guys support my channel, right? Because it's crazy. I think differently than other people. You know? And maybe that in some ways, in some instances, it's good. But, you know, I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm just me. I've been me for my whole life. And I'm not going to be a different me. And if people don't, you know, like it, I'm sorry that you don't like when I'm saying, hey guys, you know, I get frustrated when my channel isn't being supported financially. I know it's not easy because, you know, the economy isn't great and everything like that. But it's hard. How do you not become frustrated? You know, it's like, just pretend that, oh, this is great. You know, I'm going to do a 3-hour live and get $8 in super chats. You know, that would be ridiculous. I don't have the time to do that. So anyways, that's just the way it is sometimes, you know. Hopefully it will get back to better times where it's not quite like that. It used to be where I never said anything. People just supported the channel and it was pretty cool. But hopefully we can get it. The best scenario would be if we had like 2,000 members all at the Oogla Boogla Freaks level. And they were just, you know, we just all stuck together and it was always the same. Then there'd be almost zero. There would just be like my ad revenue plus that, and then any super chats that just randomly came in. It would easily make everything work. But that isn't how it is. Well, thanks, Sleuthy Ruthie. And I hope you guys found that stuff interesting. That's pretty crazy. All right. Well, I want to say thanks again to everybody who was in here supporting the channel. And even if you just hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe. I always got these, everybody always sends me these long dissertations on what they hear and what they see. And it's like, I just, you know, I just do my own thing, you know. And I don't want to have my thoughts influenced by something. I mean, you know, obviously you see other people's stuff and then, it, you know, like if something shows up in a news article or somebody mentions something in chat and you look at it, you go, oh, wow, okay. That's how it works. But in my general thinking, I just want my own thoughts to be my thoughts. So you never really know what your thoughts are if you're reading and watching other channels all the time. That's why I always have unique stuff on mine. And it doesn't match anything else that anybody's doing, is because I don't watch what they're doing. So I wouldn't want it to make me go, ooh, let me make a video kind of like that, but then do the... No, I just kind of look at stuff and go, wow, ooh, look at this. This is crazy. But anyways, thanks everybody. We will see you guys tomorrow. And who knows what the hell tomorrow will bring. Will it be another night of crazy nutjob trolls? Who the hell knows? But it wouldn't shock me one bit. Hope we get some more documents coming out. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.
And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 7 and an 8.
Well, I didn't say 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 4 tonight, because I found the damn rap right away, Mary.
Crime dissector.
What are you talking about, Gray? I was just doing 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4.
Detector.
Oh my
Gonna
God.
get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an
Old projector, crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pop protector. Food reflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his vector without his spectral. Just remember,
have a temple fucking
conjecture, I have no agenda. I love my tender, and I'll give it to you straight out of the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send you on a mission to reveal to offender.
Are you okay, Mary Lou? What the hell was that?
Well, I was trying to hit a crescendo, and then my hacking cigarette lungs kicked in.
What the hell does hacking cigarette lungs mean?
Well, it means I've been smoking cigarettes, but they were low Retsin variety. You know, the low Retsin.
You mean some have Retsin and you have a low Retsin variety?
Yeah, I do. Mine have they're low in Retsin, and they are low-cal cigarettes. Very good for you.
What in the hell are you... What do you mean, low-cal cigarettes? What different... They don't even have any calories, for God's sakes.
Well, that's not what they told me, Gray.
Jesus. Okay, well, you're starting to sound like a pro-burger. They believe stuff like that.
What the hell's a pro-burger?
Never mind, Mary Lou. All right, thanks, everybody. We'll see you later. All right.
What the hell was that, Gray?
Jesus. Wow, that's bullshit. Look at Paulette's telling you right now.
I don't care what Paulette tells me. I don't like her anymore.
Well, she doesn't like you too much either, Mary Lou. Actually, she does like you.
Okay, I like her too.
Man, you're pretty fickle, Mary Lou. You just quickly change your mind, just boom, boom, boom. You know, going with the wind. It's crazy.
Well, I'm never talking to you again.
Okay, it's okay. You're never talking to me. You're still going to watch, though, right?
I'm never watching again.
Perfect, Mary Lou.
Thanks, Gray.
All right, see you guys later. Wow, Mary Lou's on fire.